Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we'll be going through the Nagaland current affairs for the month of April 2026. So before we start our video, those who are new, a very warm welcome. So this video, it is made free, but if you want to get a hold of this PDF to save some time, then you can get this PDF at rupees 25. So in order to get a hold of this PDF, there is a link provided in the bio that is for a Telegram group. So you join the Telegram group and then the details are given to get a hold of this PDF. Now, let's start. Nagaland, among top performers in GST growth, records 28.4% in financial year 2026. So this means Nagaland is one of the best performing states in collecting GST, and its GST collection it increased by 28.4% in the financial year 2025 to 26. Nagaland emerged as one of the top performing states in goods and services tax growth during the financial year 2025 to 26, registering a 28.4% year-on-year increase in domestic collections, significantly higher than the national average. So Nagaland did very well compared to other states in GST collection. So GST, it is a tax that we pay on goods and services like clothes, food, mobile recharge, hotel stay, etc. So year on year, it means comparing to the previous year. Only OIDAR, that is Online Information Database Access and Retrieval Services, it showed higher growth than the state at 37%. So there is a specific category called OIDAR, which includes online subscription, cloud services, etc. Okay, so this category it grew even faster, that is by 37%. According to the official data, the state's total domestic GST collection stood at rupees 845 crore during the financial year 2026. This increase was reflected across both the administrative arms, so that means both the state government and the central government department, they saw the growth. State GST formations collected rupees 509 crore, which recorded a 28.2% growth, while central GST formations they contributed rupees 335 crore, making a 28.6% rise. In terms of tax composition, state GST accounted for rupees 388 crore, central GST rupees 312 crore, and an integrated GST rupees 145 crore. Despite robust growth in collections within the state, the actual revenue after interstate settlement rose more moderately, with post-settlement state GST increasing from rupees 1,078 crore in the financial year 25 to rupees 1,184 crore in the financial year 26, reflecting a 10% growth. So this means that even though the collection increased a lot, the actual money that the state keeps grows slower. Why? Because the tax money is shared between states after adjustments. So after all the adjustment, Nagaland's actual revenue increased by only 10%. So it means that not all collected tax it stays with the state. According to a press note from the Central GST Dimapur Commissionerate, it stated that GST continues to be the largest source of Nagaland's own tax revenue, contributing nearly 68% in the previous fiscal year. And as of March 31st, 2026, Nagaland had rupees 11,363 registered GST taxpayers, including 6,721 under state jurisdiction and 4,642 under central authorities, indicating a steadily expanding tax base. Meanwhile, the all India total GST collection for the financial year 2025 to 26 it exceeded rupees 22.27 lakh crore, an 8.3 increase over the previous year. So from here, what we understood is that Nagaland is doing very well in tax collection, and GST is the main source of income for the state. More businesses are registering and paying the tax. However, the actual money the state keeps grows slower due to sharing rules. So the same thing here it is here in this image. So there is a question for you. The GST Council was established under which article of the Constitution? So try to recall this. Nagaland's Food and Civil Supplies Department has implemented the Smart PDS scheme in line with directives of the Ministry of Consumer Affairs to enhance transparency, real-time monitoring, and data-driven decision-making. Since its rollout in May 2025, stakeholders have been directed to ensure mandatory use of EPOS devices, proper recording of undistributed food grains as closing balance, and completion of eKYC under the NFSA Act 2013. So EPOS, it stands for Electronic Point of Sale. So it is a digital checkout system which is used in retail store functions to process the customer sales like payment transactions, capture customer data, and manage inventory and then track the orders. So here is a picture of EPOS. The Department of Food and Civil Supplies, Government of Nagaland, has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Department of Food and Public Distribution, Government of India, for the implementation of Smart PDS scheme on 1st June 2023. So Smart PDS, it is a centrally sponsored scheme and it stands for Scheme for Modernization and Reforms Through Technology in Public Distribution System. So centrally sponsored means 90 is to 10, 90 by the center, 10 by the state. So the scheme has commenced from August 2024, which shall be continued up to March 2026. So Nagaland is modernizing its ration system using technology and everything is becoming digital in order to avoid manual errors or cheating. So only the real beneficiaries will now get the food grains and then the center is funding most of the scheme. So the main aim of this implementation is transparency, efficiency, and accountability. Elderline Nagaland received a total of 318 calls during 2025, out of which 66 service requests were raised for resolving issues and grievances of senior citizens in the state, according to the annual administrative report 2025 to 26 of the Social Welfare Department. So this report, it was tabled during the recent 8th session of the 14th NLA in Kohima, and it stated that the Elderline team rescued two elderly citizens and successfully placed them at old age homes with the assistance of the Social Welfare Department. Senior Citizens Helpline or Elderline Nagaland, that is 14567. This is a part of National Helpline for Senior Citizens set up by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Government of India, in collaboration with the National Institute of Social Defense and the State Department of Social Welfare. So Elderline Nagaland, it is a government helpline that supports senior citizens with information, emotional help, legal aid, and rescue services. So the Elderline is mandated to facilitate four distinct services. That is information related to elder care services, old age homes, government schemes and benefits, and then guidance on legal and pension related issues, emotional support offering counseling services with referral to specialized partners if required, and direct field intervention for rescue and reunion of homeless elderly persons. So in Nagaland, the state helpline comprises a connect center that is fully operational from Monday to Sunday, that is from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And International Day of Older Person, it is observed every year on 1st of October. The integrated program for senior citizens. So this funds the NGOs as an implementing agency for setting up of homes to improve the quality of the senior citizens, especially indigenous senior citizens, by providing basic amenities like shelter, food, medical care, and entertainment opportunities, and by encouraging productive and active aging. So currently the state, that is Nagaland, has 11 such homes. Rubber plantations in Nagaland covers 19,469.46 hectares till 2025 to 26. The Nagaland's Land Resources Department has promoted rubber cultivation in 9 districts, covering a total area of about 94,469.46 hectares till 2025 to 26, with the Convergence Fund from PMKSY, WDC, NEC, and state schemes including RIDF. So district-wise area developed during 2025 to 26 are as follows. So you can go through this one. So here's an overview of the crime in Nagaland in 2024 versus 2025. Nagaland records higher crime in the year 2025. The state has recorded 1,400 cognizable offences in the year 2025, comprising 1,003 cases under the BNS 2023 and 397 cases under the special and local laws as per the data from the Nagaland Police section of the Annual Administrative Report 2025 to 26 of the Home Department. So this represents an increase of about 21% from 1,158 cases in to 2024. So among the serious offences, the report had indicated a sharp rise in extortion cases, increasing from 60 to 78 during the same period, reflecting a increase of 30%. Murder cases also rose from 11 in 2024 to 14 in 2025. Cases registered under the Arms Act remained relatively stable, increasing marginally from 53 to 54. However, while the number of arms seized declined slightly from 56 to 50, there was a significant rise in ammunition seizures from 333 rounds in 2024 to 1,434 rounds in 2025. The number of magazines seized also more than doubled from 40 to 85. Incidents linked to Naga political groups remained largely unchanged, with 100 cases recorded in 2025 compared to 99 in 2024. However, 160 cadre arrested in 2025, up from 134 in 2024, reflecting an increase of around 19%. The annual administrative report also stated to prevent any individual or persons acting in any manner prejudicial to the security of the state and public order and public safety. A total of 18 persons were booked under the NSA 1980. The figure remained the same in 2024. So here's Nagaland Police at a glance. Nagaland Police, it comes under the Home Department and it is headed by a DGP and assisted by two additional Directors General of Nagaland Police designated as ADGP Law and Order and ADGP Administration for the smooth functioning of police administration. ADGP Law and Order oversees law and order in the state while ADGP Administration handles general administrative functions. Below the ADGP rank, there are 8 Inspectors General of Police and 4 Deputy Inspector General of Police with assigned responsibilities. Across the state, 15 districts, policing is carried out through 14 district executive forces headed by SP and 1 commissionerate in Dimapur headed by a commissioner of police in the rank of DIG. Nagaland Police has a total of 15 battalions, each headed by a commandant, including 8 Nagaland Armed Police battalions and 7 India Reserve battalions, including a Mahila India Reserve battalion. The force also operates 2 training institutes, namely the Nagaland Police Training School, headed by a principal, and the Nagaland Armed Training Center, headed by a commandant. In addition, there are 8 support units, that is Intelligence Unit, Police Engineering Project, Nagaland Police Telecommunication Organization, Police Central Workshop, Police Referral Hospital, Mini Forensic Science Laboratory, Signal Training School, and the Counter-Insurgency and Anti-Terrorism School. In India, the criminal offences are classified as cognizable and non-cognizable crimes based on the seriousness of the crime and the level of discretion available to the police in taking action against the accused. So, cognizable offense, it is a serious offense, okay? While a non-cognizable offense, it is a less serious offense. So, in case of cognizable offense, okay, the police can arrest the accused without a warrant and they can start the investigation without court permissions. It means, so in cognizable offense, the police can act immediately. So the examples of cognizable offense includes murder, rape, kidnapping, theft. So for example, if someone steals your bike, you can go to the police and then the police can immediately register a case and then arrest the suspect. While in the case of non-cognizable offenses, the police cannot arrest without a warrant. So they cannot start investigation without court permission and then the police need court approval first. So examples of non-cognizable offense includes like minor fights, like simple assault, defamation, and public nuisance. So for example, if your neighbor abuses you verbally, okay, the police will not act immediately. You may need to go to court first and then the police can act accordingly. So remember that cognizable crimes are very serious crimes where the police can act instantly, while the not cognizable crimes are minor crimes where the police need court approval first. Nagaland has been declared as one of the iodine deficiency diseases endemic states in India through a baseline survey conducted by ICMR in early 1960s, where 34.3% of the goiter prevalence was recorded. So iodine deficiency, it causes goiter. So this is goiter, that is enlarged thyroid gland. So this, it was stated in the annual administrative report 2025-26 of Health and Family Welfare Department, tabled in the recent 8th session of 14 NLA in Kohima. The National Iodine Deficiency Disease Control Program, Nagaland IDT cell. It was established in 1987. Nagaland has the lowest goiter thyroid disorder among 1 lakh women in the country, that is 105 out of 1 lakh. The report stated that the state ranked 6th in the country in total household consumption of iodized salt at 99%. Leprosy cases in Nagaland confined to 3 districts. 21 leprosy cases have been recorded in Nagaland till January 2026. Out of the 17 districts of Nagaland, only 3 districts have leprosy cases, that is Dimapur, Mon, and Tuinsang. This was disclosed in the Annual Administrative Report 2025 to 26 of the Health and Family Welfare Department, which was tabled in the recent 8th session of the 14th NLA in Kohima. During the period of 2025 to 26, under the National Leprosy Eradication Program, the leprosy program achieved a major milestone in Nagaland, with the government of Nagaland declaring leprosy a notifiable disease on August 19, 2025. So leprosy was declared as a notifiable disease on August 19, 2025 by the state of Nagaland. So Anti-Leprosy Day, it is celebrated on 30th January. So leprosy, it is an infectious disease, okay, and it is caused by a bacteria called as Mycobacterium leprae, and leprosy is also known as Hansen's disease. So it primarily affects the skin, the peripheral nerves, eyes, and other organs. So you can see here in this picture. The disease is transmitted through droplets from the nose and mouth of an untreated case of leprosy containing the causative agent following prolonged and close contact. The disease does not spread through casual contact like shaking of hands or hugging, sharing meals, or sitting next to each other. The patient stops transmitting the disease upon initiation of treatment. So it usually takes about 3 to 5 years for symptoms to appear after you come in contact with the bacteria that cause leprosy. Okay, the current recommendation treatment regimen, it consists of 3 medicines, that is dapsone, rifampicin, and clofazimine, and it is referred to as multi-drug therapy. And the National Leprosy Eradication Program, it was launched in the year 1983, and it is a centrally sponsored health scheme under India's National Health Mission. So centrally sponsored means 90:10. The program aims to eliminate leprosy in the country by providing free diagnosis, multi-drug therapy, and disability services to achieve zero transmission and leprosy stigma by the year 2027, that is next year. Nagaland HSLC slips from 2025 peak. HSLC streams rebound in NBSE 2026 results. So the overall pass percentage in high school Living Certificate, that is HSLC, stood at 72.07 in 2026, okay, which came down from 75.16% in the year 2025, but still above the 71.87 recorded in 2024. So you can go through this chart here to have a glance of whether the pass percentage for the year 2025 or 2026 was good or bad as compared to the previous year. So as you can see here in this picture, 2025, in the year 2026, okay, 72.0%, that means it has decreased, right, the HSLC pass percentage. But still, it was better from the year 2024. So in HSLC examination, art stream, it continued its steady upward climb, reaching 85.78% this year, highest in the 6-year period under review. So if you see here in this table here, the art stream, if you compare it from the year 2026 till 2021, okay, the year 2026 was much better in art stream. And in commerce stream, the year 2024 was much better. And then in the science stream, the year 2021 was much better in the science stream. That means the pass percentage is declining in science stream. So this stream-wise trends, it has indicated that arts has shown the most consistent year-on-year improvement, while science has remained the most volatile, moving from above 90% in 2021 to mid-70s in 2025 before recovering this year. So here you can see in the HSLC examination, private schools recorded a pass percentage of 86.13%, while government schools registered 43.26%. So government schools are not doing well. But again, comparing to the last year, private school pass percentage has declined from 87 to 64, and government school has also declined from 48.1% to 43.26%. The performance of government school has also marked a third consecutive annual decline. So this is not the first time, but it is the third consecutive decline. Out of the 80 candidates who made it to top 20 positions in HSLC examination, only one student was from government school with 95%, Sriniti Mahapatra of GHS Yachim, and she was placed at the rank 19. Nagaland has achieved 94.91% household tap water coverage with over 3.45 lakh households connected under the Jal Jeevan Mission as of April 1st, 2026. So Jal Jeevan Mission, it was launched in the year 2019 to supply 55 liters of water per person per day to every rural household through functional household tap connections by 2024. So 2024 is already gone. So it has been extended till 2028, okay, and it was announced in the Union Budget 2025. So Jal Jeevan Mission, it is a community approach to water and will include extensive information, education, and communication as key components of the mission. The nodal ministry is Ministry of Jal Shakti. So the funding pattern is centrally sponsored. That's 90% for Himalayan and northeastern states. Nagaland meets only 44.56% of animal husbandry demand. The state imports animal husbandry products worth rupees 263.56 crore in monetary terms as per 2025 to 26 estimates, indicating a heavy dependence on other states. So Nagaland alone, it accounts for 60% of the country's total pork consumption, with another 30% going to other northeastern states and only 10% reaching to rest of India. On dairy products, the recommended per capita availability, it stands at 150 grams per day, but actual availability is only 67 grams, less than half the required amount. The situation with eggs is equally concerning against the recommended per capita availability of 110 eggs annually. Residents are currently getting only 34 to 40 eggs per capita. The CAG of India audit report has revealed severe shortages of specialist doctors, nurses, and paramedical staff across district hospitals, community health centers, and primary health centers in Nagaland, covering the period of 2017 to 18 to 2022 to 23. The subject specifies compliance audit on public health infrastructure and management of primary health services tabled as part of the CAG report for the year ending March 2023 reveals substantially discrepancy in health manpower across the state's primary health infrastructure. So, according to the report, in case of district hospitals, major shortages existed in the cadre of specialist doctor from 8 to 56%, general duty medical officers from 43 to 100%, staff nurses from 4 to 60%, and paramedical staff from 13 to 88%. The audit, however, noted excess manpower in specialist doctor in two district hospitals, ranging between 33 and 61%, pointing to uneven distribution of medical personnel. The shortages of general medicine doctors were recorded in six district hospitals, including Kifri, Perin, Longland, Peg, Zanabota, and Mokokchung, while district hospitals in Kohima and Dimapur, they had access. The situation in community health center was found to be equally alarming, with specialist doctor shortages ranging from 67 to 95%. Out of the 23 community health centers in the state, the specialist service in obstetrics and gynecology was available only in five community health centers, that is Noklak, Pumro, Jaluki, Mandari, and Tobu. Shortages in general duty medical officers, nurses, paramedics stood at 29%, 62%, and 12% respectively. The audit also observed an excess of manpower at community health centers in obstetrics and gynecology, MBBS, staff nurse, lab technician, and pharmacist, which resulted in skewed posting of manpower at CHCs, that is, community health centers. The primary health centers in the state were found to be functioning with inadequate manpower. Shortfalls were recorded in general duty medical officers 11%, auxiliary nurse midwives or ANMs. So remember this full form also, okay? 86%, and lab technicians 64%, and pharmacists 33%. So in a nutshell, Nagaland's healthcare system is facing a serious shortage of doctor and staff, and whatever staff is available, it is not properly distributed. So many hospitals, they do not have enough specialist doctors, general doctors, nurses, or paramedical staff. So hospitals doesn't have enough people to treat the patients, and in some places there is 100% shortage of general doctors, which means that there is no doctor available at all, and up to 95% shortage of specialized doctors. There are large shortages in nurses and other staffs. So some hospitals are almost non-functional, and some hospitals have extra doctors while others have none. So this indicates that the staff is not properly posted. And many community health centers they lack specialists, especially for women's health. Only a few centers they provide proper services. So rural healthcare is very weak, and most health centers they do not have proper disaster plans or SOPs. So it means that they are not ready for emergencies like disasters. So Nagaland's healthcare system has too few doctors, poor staff distribution, and weak emergency preparedness. So here is another failed report by CAG for the state of Nagaland's construction workers' protections. A performance audit by the CAG of India has found that the Nagaland Labour Department and the Nagaland Building and Other Construction Workers Welfare Board has failed across nearly every statutory obligation toward construction workers in the state over a 6 year period, leaving a largely migrant workforce without registration, safety oversight, basic amenities, or welfare benefits. The audit was tabled as part of the CAG report for the year ending March 2023, covered the period of 2017 to 18 to 2022 to 23, and examined the NBOCWWB. So this stands for Nagaland Building and Other Construction Workers Welfare Board on five broad areas. That is registration of workers and establishments, cess assessment and collection, worksite inspections, health and safety conditions, and implementation of the central government's modified model welfare scheme. According to Rule 256 of the NBOCW Rules 2010, proof of employment under a registered establishment or evidence of at least 90 days of construction work in the preceding year. And under Section 7 of the BOC Act, every employer is required to register the establishment with the Welfare Board within 60 days of commencement of construction work. Okay, 60 days. The BOC Welfare Cess Act, it requires cess at 1% of construction cost to be levied from employers and remitted to the Welfare Board within 30 days of collection. Chapter 6 to 24 of the NBOCW Rules 2010, it lays down safety and health norms covering precautions during demolition, handling of explosives, fire safety, safe transport of workers, safety nets, lighting of work sites, and provision of medical facilities. So, what we understood from this is that for 6 years, that is from 2017 to 2023, the state labor department and the construction workers welfare board basically did almost nothing they were legally supposed to do. So most of the construction workers in Nagaland they were left without official registration, safety checks at work sites, basic facilities, welfare benefits were not included. The employers were not registering their construction sites, which is mandatory, and this 1% of cess. Okay, this is a small tax charge on construction projects. So this 1% of cess actually that should go into the workers' welfare fund, but here in this case it was not properly collected or used. So very few inspections were done. The safety rules were ignored. The law says that the construction workers must be protected and given benefits. But in Nagaland, the system meant to enforce this has failed across the board, leaving thousands of workers without any real protection or support for years. So this is a serious audit observation which was tabled in the State Assembly. Another one here, according to the report of the CAG of India, which was tabled in the state legislature on March 26, Nagaland state public sector undertakings are facing mounting financial stress with borrowings now drastically outstripping earnings, with a latest audit report estimating that every single rupee of revenue is outweighed by over 15 rupees in debt. As of March 31st, 2023, Nagaland had seven state public sector undertakings, including five working and two non-working companies. The total investment in six state public sector undertakings it stood at rupees 121.96 crore, with a significant 71.84% in long-term loans, that is rupees 79.70 crore. The state's actual ownership stake or equity amounts for only 28.16%, that is rupees 42.26 crore. Nagaland Industrial Development Corporation Limited was flagged for failing to pay or account for interest on long-term debts Nagaland Hotels Limited recorded a loss of rupees 2.84 crore on a turnover of rupees 3.95 crore. Nagaland Handloom and Handicrafts Development Corporation Limited posted a loss of rupees 0.70 crore on a turnover of rupees 0.22 crore, with accumulated losses of rupees 6.31 crore, reflecting limited operational viability. Only one entity, that is Nagaland State Mineral Development Corporation Limited, recorded a profit, that is rupees 0.46 crore, though the audit noted this was largely due to government grants rather than independent commercial success. No dividends were paid to the state exchequer. Notably, the Kohima Smart City Development Limited has failed to submit a single set of accounts since its inception in 2017. From here, what we understood is that Nagaland's government-owned companies are in a very bad financial shape. So they are losing money heavily, drowning in debt, and most are barely functioning. So these companies, they have borrowed massively for every 1 rupee they earn. They owe more than 14 rupees in debt. So this is extremely unhealthy. As of March 2023, there were seven such companies. Most are bleeding money. Only one company, that is Nagaland State Mineral Development Corporation Limited. It showed a small profit, but even that was mostly because the government gave it money, not because it was successful on its own. And the main industrial development corporation, that is NIDC, isn't even paying interest on its loan properly. And Kohima Smart City Development Limited hasn't submitted its accounts even once since its inception in 2017. So this shows a complete lack of accountability. So most of the Nagaland's government companies are losing money, deeply indebted, and not generating real value for the state. So they are surviving on government support rather than running like proper businesses. No profits are being returned to the state treasury. So this is another serious observation from the CAC audit table in the assembly. Nagaland flags concerns over new dialysis rules under ABPMJAY. The Nagaland Health Protection Society has raised concerns over recent modification introduced by the National Health Authority in hemodialysis packages under the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, stating that the changes may pose operational challenges and inconvenience patients in the state. The revised norms it include limiting the dialysis cycles to 6 per pre-authorization, mandating 2 bio-authentications, entry and exit for each cycle, and restricting the duration between the entry and exit to a maximum of 4 hours. So from here, the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana was launched in which year? So try to recall this. Public hospitals, they continue to serve as the backbone of healthcare in Nagaland, with the state recording far higher dependence on government health facilities than the national average for treatment and hospitalization, according to the latest National Sample Survey, 80th round of household social consumption health. So this nationwide survey was conducted between January and December 2025. Here is the health comparison between Nagaland versus India, so you can go through this table. Seven new rice varieties approved for Nagaland. The State Seed Subcommittee approved the release of seven new rice varieties developed specifically for Nagaland's agroclimatic conditions. These newly developed varieties have a shorter duration of 115 to 120 days, higher productivity potential of 5 to 7 tons per hectare, and exhibit tolerance to biotic and abiotic stresses. Ulekre reviving age-old practices of farming. In a clan land covering about 25 acres in Chidima under Kohima district, a new initiative was planted on towards preserving the age-old practice of farming. The 12-member group of Ulekre, a vibrant folk music ensemble from Chidima that was formed in the year 2022. So Ulekre was formed in the year 2022. They gathered at the clan land, and this time not to sing but to farm, sending out a clear message on the need to preserve the traditional way of farming and further encourage the younger generation to stay rooted in their ancestral practices. So Ulikre, it means singing peer group. U means song, Li means singing, and Kre means peer group, and it comprises of 12 individuals, 6 males and 6 females. Kundanglung, this festival is celebrated by the Chang tribe. Monu festival is celebrated by the Prom tribe. So Monu is the most popular and biggest festival, and it falls on April every year as soon after the sowing season. This festival is celebrated for 6 days beginning from 1st to 6th of April every year, and it also marks the end of winter and the beginning of summer or monsoon. A day or two prior to the festival, the green signal of the dawn or festival is made by beating log drums with a distinct tune synchronized purposely for the event, traditionally named as Lan Yang Shem. The main feature of the Monyu is the occasion when the male members of the family show love and renewal of affectionate feelings towards their married daughters or sisters by presenting them the purest of the rice beer, specifically prepared food. Such conduct reflects the general status of the Pom woman that they are respected and honored. So here are the 6 days of celebration of the Monyu festival. Day one, that is the overall preparation. Household collects wrapping leaves and bamboos called as Chongten Laipen. Day 2, compulsory brewing of all kinds of rice beer. Day 3, for all age groups, from oldest to youngest, they gather together, feast, dance, and merrymaking. So this day is named as Aiha Okshok. Day 4, it is coined as Chingi Okshok. It is the general festivity arrival of guests from neighboring villages. Fifth day, old and young, they wear colorful costumes, they eat, drink, dance, and invite friends, kid and kill. So this day is called as Pang Mohan. Sixth and the last day, the elderly feast by exchanging jug of purest rice beer and meat. The younger ones, they stroll and feast together. The most common game played swing made of wild rope locally called as Shakok Vu. Auleng Monyu or Auleng, it is a festival celebrated by the Konyak Naga people and it is held in the first week of April, mainly in the Mon district. Auleng celebrates the arrival of spring and prays for a good upcoming harvest. So this is the festival events at a glance. The first day is known as Hoi Lai Ya Ni, and in the first day, people collect firewood, vegetables, and other items needed for the festival. Rice beer is prepared, new clothes, ornaments, and ritual items are readied. Second day is known as Yin Mok Po Ni. In the second day, domestic animals are collected and kept ready. Preparations for rituals and celebrations continue. Third day is known as Yin Mok Shek Ni. Here, a decorated bamboo flag is hoisted, animals are sacrificed, and people they begin feasting and celebrating together. Fourth day is known as Ling Yu Ni. This is the main celebration day. People wear traditional clothes and ornaments. Community feast, dance, and they sing, and celebration takes place. The fifth day is known as Linga Ni. In this day, elders are respected, families visit each other, and they share food. People also visit burial places and remember their ancestors. The sixth and the final day, it is known as Lingsha Ni. It is the last day of the festival, and houses and the villages are cleaned. It marks the end of the festival and a fresh start for the new year. The 33rd Puchuri Commemoration Day was celebrated at Miluri Village Council Hall on April 21st. So, April 21st, it is known as Puchuri Commemoration Day. So, when was Miluri District inaugurated? Tejas initiative reaches Nagaland, district level startup workshops from April 14. So Startup India has launched the Tejas initiative. Tejas stands for Transforming Entrepreneurial Journeys Across States and Districts. So Startup India has launched the Tejas initiative across 132 districts to promote grassroots innovation and strengthen the startup ecosystem. Under this initiative, two district-level workshops will be held in Nagaland's Kifri and Shamator district in collaboration with the Department of Industries and Commerce and respective district administrations. So Teja's initiative, it aims to identify, nurture, and support aspiring entrepreneurs, startups, and students in non-metro and underdeserved regions by facilitating access to institutional support, mentorship, and resources for building and scaling enterprises. Nagaland bets big on Industry 4.0 hub at NTTC, that is Nagaland Tool Room and Training Center. Nagaland is intensifying efforts to build a technology-driven ecosystem for youth with the expansion of Center of Excellence in Industry 4.0 at the Nagaland Tool Room and Training Center in Dimapur. So Nagaland is the only state in the Northeast with an Industry 4.0 facility. So what is this Industry 4.0 facility? Industry 4.0, which is synonymous with smart manufacturing. It is the realization of the digital transformation of the field, delivering real-time decision making, enhanced productivity, flexibility, and agility to revolutionize the way companies manufacture, improve, and distribute their products. Center of Excellence Industry 4.0 Shujan. It was inaugurated by Chief Minister Dr. Nifurio on 25th of April last year, okay, at Nagaland Tool Room and Training Center. So also remember this Nagaland Tool Room and Training Center. It is located in Dimapur district. Pilgrim Higher Secondary School, in collaboration with Niti Academy Dimapur, has launched the Nebula, a social integrated program for class 11 and 12 science students. So, under this initiative, it aims to integrate specialized learning for competitive examinations, including NEET, JEE, and CUET, in the school curriculum. The SIP is said to be the first of its kind in Nagaland, and it was formally launched on April 18 at a program organized in the school. Vishnu Bhattacharjee, who is the chairman of the Linguistic Minority Forum of Nagaland, attended as a chief guest of honor. Dimapur Bongs, a registered social cultural organization in collaboration with the Nagaland Department of Tourism, has announced a fundraising concert titled Ahoban 1433 during a press conference at Hotel Saramati on April 15. The event was scheduled for April 18 at DDSC Stadium. Dimapur Bengali Samaj extended warm greetings to all community members on the occasion of Shubho Nababarsho, the Bengali New Year, which is also known as Poila Baisak. It is celebrated by the Bengali people worldwide as a holiday on 14th April in Bangladesh and 15 or 14 April in Indian states of West Bengal, Tripura, Jharkhand, and Assam. So Poila Bhaisakh, it is a festival based on the spring harvest, which marks the first day of the new year in the Bengali calendar. The government of Nagaland, Nan Kishore Yadav, joined the Sikh community in celebrating the auspicious festival of Baisakhi at Gurudwara Sri Guru Singh Sabha, Dimapur on 14 April 2026. Vaisakhi, it marks the harvest season and symbolizing prosperity, gratitude, and new beginnings. The Khalsa Panth, it refers to both a community that practices Sikhism and a specific group of initiated Sikhs. So Guru Gobind Singh, he is the 10th Guru of Sikhism. Okay, he established the Khalsa tradition in the year 1699. Its establishment was a watershed moment in Sikhism history. Sikhs commemorate the creation of Khalsa at the Baisakhi festival. In a significant step towards enhancing healthcare accessibility and promoting community welfare, Assam Rifles had handed over an ambulance to the Pensioners Union Dimapur at Paipijang village under Operation Sadbhavana on March 28. Government High School Naga United organized a one-day seminar on the theme Women's Health and Hygiene in observance of the 10th Bagless Day on April 25th at the village council. So, Bagless Day is observed on April 25th. Dimapur Kifri institutions observe Fire Week service. The Fire Week service 2026, it was observed from April 14 to the 28th of April on the theme Safe School, Safe Hospital, Fire Safety Aware Society Together for Fire Protection. So fire hazards are classified into four types. Okay, Class A, Class B, Class C, and Class D. So Class A, it involves fires involving the solid materials. Class B, fires involving the flammable liquid. And Class C, fires involving gas. And Class D, fires involving metals. So the Bombay explosion, okay, or the Bombay dock explosion, it was a very big explosion and it was occurred on 14th of April 1944. From policy to village, letter of agreement signed to combat malnutrition in Eastern Nagaland. The letter of agreement brings together the Department of School Education, the Department of Health and Family Welfare, ECS, and the state and the district administrator under a unified convergence framework, which is aimed at ensuring that every mother and child in the identified districts has access to integrated and quality services related to education, nutrition, and health. So the pilot phase will cover 60 villages across 6 eastern districts, that is Mon, Longland, Twinsang, Shamator, Kifri, and Noklak, chosen on account of the high malnutrition burden. So this initiative, it is expected to serve as a demonstration model for scaling across the state. This program, it will aim to strengthen the maternal and child health services, through coordinated departmental efforts ensuring access to nutrition and early childhood care, establishing robust monitoring mechanisms, and creating a scalable model of convergence. Four food products fail quality test in the Dimapur zone. So this is for your awareness. So these are the four products. Okay. If this is in your kitchen, then it is time for you to throw them out. Under the FSSAI Act 2006, a food item it is classified as substandard when it fails to meet the prescribed standards, but not as to render the article of food unsafe. So any person who is found manufacturing, storing, selling, or importing substandard food for human consumption, he or she is liable for a penalty of up to rupees 5 lakh. So it is also important for the consumers to distinguish between substandard and unsafe products. So substandard foods, they are low quality, whereas unsafe food, they are harmful or toxic food. So while these items may not cause immediate illness, they present a violation of consumer trust and regulatory requirements. In a significant step towards strengthening surveillance and rapid response to vector-borne diseases, the Health Family Welfare Department has established a dedicated state control room in Dimapur district, okay, under the National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program. The Department of National Husbandry and Veterinary Services has launched the seventh round of vaccination under the National Animal Disease Control Program for foot and mouth disease at the State Cattle Breeding Farm in Kohima on 15th of April. National Animal Disease Control Program. It is a flagship scheme which was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in September 2019 for control of foot and mouth disease and brucellosis by vaccinating 100% cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat, and pig population for foot and mouth disease and 100% bovine female calves of 4 to 8 months of age for brucellosis. So foot and mouth disease, it is a highly contagious viral, okay, vesicular disease of cloven hoof animals. So cloven hoof animals are cattle, buffaloes, sheep, goats, and pigs. So foot and mouth disease, it leads to reduction in milk yield, decreased growth rate, infertility, reduced working capacity in bullocks, trade embargo in the international market. So the control of FMD can be achieved by mass vaccination of susceptible livestock repeatedly at regular intervals till the incidence of the disease comes down. So this will pave way to gradual eradication of disease from the country. And brucellosis, it is a reproductive disease of cattle and buffaloes caused by bacterium Brucella abortus. So this disease, it is characterized by fever, induces abortion at the last stage of pregnancy, infertility, delayed heat, interrupted lactation, resulting in loss of calves, loss in production of meat and milk. Bovine brucellosis is endemic in India and it appears to be on the increase in the recent times, perhaps due to increased trade and rapid movement of livestock. In the absence of any treatment for brucellosis in bovine animals, the disease can be prevented by vaccination. Control of brucellosis can be achieved by a once in a lifetime vaccination of female bovine calves, that is, in between 4 to 8 months of old. The overall aim of the National Animal Disease Control Program for foot and mouth disease and brucellosis is to control FMD by 2025 with vaccination and its eventual eradication by the year 2030. National Animal Disease Control Program for Foot and Mouth Disease and Brucellosis. It is a central sector scheme, so it means that it is 100% funded by the center. The annual general meeting of the Athletics Federation of India, it was held at Kohima from April 14 to 15. So this is the first time a national sports federation an annual general meeting was held in Nagaland. It was hosted by Nagaland Athletics Association. Nagaland Athletics Association president, he is Abu Mehta, and he is also the president of AFI, that is Athletics Federation of India. South Asian Athletics Federation president is Lalit K. Banot. Okay, he also attended this meeting. The Nagaland Education Project, the Lighthouse under the Department of School Education, launched a grievance redressal mechanism portal for lighthouse school complexes during the one-day orientation for school-related gender-based violence committees on 14 April 2026 at Hotel de Oriental, Kohima. It was launched by Alun Hang Singh, who is the chairman of Nagaland State Commission for Protection of Child Rights. So this portal, it will ensure mandatory reporting of all school-related gender-based violence cases in government schools with quick, effective redressal of the cases. The creation of the grievance redressal mechanism, it is mandated by court directives as well as the United Nations and World Bank. The Nagaland State Commission for Protection of Child Rights, okay, it was established in the year 2013 under the provisions of the Commission of Protection of Child Rights Act 2005. So this is an autonomous statutory body, okay, and it is mandated to monitor and ensure the proper implementation of various provisions under key child rights legislation. National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, it was established in March 2007. This commission it mandates to ensure that all laws, policies, programs, and administrative systems they conform to the vision of the rights of the child as enunciated in the Constitution of India as well as the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. So a child is defined as a person falling in the group of 0 to 18 years. The Nagaland Adoption Awareness Program on promoting non-institutionalized rehabilitation of children with special needs Divyang children, organized by the State Adoption Resource Agency under Mission Vatsalya Department of Social Welfare, was held at Kohima. So Mission Vatsalya, this scheme it is a roadmap to achieve development and child protection priorities aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals. It lays emphasis on child rights, advocacy, and awareness, along with strengthening of the juvenile justice care and protection system with the motto Leave No Child Behind. The Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act 2015 provisions and the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012 they form the basis framework for implementation of this mission, that is Mission Vatsalya. So this Mission Vatsalya, it is a centrally sponsored scheme and it was launched in the year 2021. And then the nodal ministry is Ministry of Women and Child Development. The Yoshu Resource Center in Quigbema Village, Kohima District, was inaugurated with Samir Asha, Director of Finance and CFO, Aprava Energy, as the inaugural guest. It was informed that Yoshu Resource Center, Quigbema Village, it is a corporate social responsibility project funded by Aprava Energy and implemented by Iloteros Christian Society. Corporate social responsibility, it is a business model that encourages companies to operate in ways that enhances society and the environment while still being accountable to their stakeholders and the public. So corporate social responsibility, it was made mandatory in India through the Companies Act 2013, making India the first country in the world to legislate CSR spending. So the eligibility criteria under Section 135 Companies Act 2013. CSR provisions, they apply to those companies that meet any one, okay, of the following in the preceding financial year. So the net worth should be rupees 500 crore or more, turnover rupees 1000 crore or more, net profit rupees 5 crore or more. And such companies, they must spend at least 2% of the average net profits of the last 3 years on CSR activities. The closing ceremony of the Samart Northeast Innovation Hackathon 2026, it was held at the National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology, Kohima, on April 11. The program was organized by Nilit Kohima, PM Shri School, Mizoram. They secured the first position, followed by PM Shri School, Thaiku, Dimapur, in second place, while Jalukbari Higher Secondary School, Guwahati, they bagged the third position. So SAMART, it stands for Students Advancing Mindsets in AI, Robotics, Technology, and Digital Hardware. Okay, it is a flagship initiative of Nilit Kohima, covering all 8 northeastern states and focusing on equipping young minds with future-ready skills. So this program, it was launched by Union Finance and Corporate Affairs Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on November 14 last year at Nilit Kohima. The state level exhibition and project competition and mentoring workshop under the Inspire Manak scheme. Okay, it was organized by SCERT Nagaland in collaboration with National Innovation Foundation, Gujarat, and the Department of Science and Technology, New Delhi at Kohima. So Inspired Manak scheme, it is a flagship program implemented by Department of Science and Technology with an objective to instill creative or innovative thinking among school students in the age of 10 to 15 years who are studying in class 6 to 10. Dr. Sajan Singh Yadav, Special Secretary in the Department of Expenditure under the Ministry of Finance, inspected several major project sites in Kohima on April 28 during the second day of his visit to Nagaland. So during his visit, okay, he reviewed projects which are being implemented under the SASKI scheme. SASCI stands for Special Assistance to States for Capital Investment. So the projects under the SASCI scheme in our state is High Court Complex at Merima, Working Women Hostel at Kigwema, and then the main arena at Kisama Heritage Village. So all these projects are partly funded under the SASCI scheme. The National Health Mission under the Department of Health and Family Welfare Nagaland has launched the Asha Connect app at the IDSP Conference Hall, Directorate of Health and Family Welfare Kohima on 24th of April 2026. So this Asha Connect, it is a web-based application to enhance the efficiency, transparency and accountability of Asha's incentive disbursement and performance monitoring across the state. So remember this full form of Asha also. Accredited social health activist. Okay. So the implementation of Asha Connect, it is expected to significantly reduce delays in incentive payments, improve transparency in financial transactions, enhance monitoring of Asha's activities, and to ensure availability of accurate real-time data, thereby strengthening accountability across all levels. The Department of Information and Public Relations observed Mission Karma Yogi Sadhana Sapta 2026 with a program held at the BIPR Conference Hall Kohima on April 7th. Mission Karma Yogi, it is the Government of India's national program for civil services capacity building, which is aimed at creating a competency-driven and citizen-centric workforce. Sadhana Sapta, it is observed from April 2 to 8 and it focuses on promoting continuous learning and practical application of knowledge in governance. So the focus was on three themes, that is technology, tradition, and tangible outcomes. Tasar silkworm rearing in Kiju Metoma village. So this village is under Kohima district. So this Tasar silkworm has been reintroduced for the first time in this Kiju Metuma village under Kohima district as part of efforts to promote rural livelihoods. So Tasar silkworm, the scientific name is Antheria militati. It is a polyphagous insect and it is reared outdoors. Utkal Divas celebrated at Lok Bhavan Kohima. Utkal Divas, it marks the foundation day of the state of Odisha. Okay, so Odisha state formation was on April 1st, 1936. Okay, and this state, it was the first state which was created on linguistic basis pre-independence. Okay, for post-independence, the answer will be Andhra Pradesh. A one-day district level launch of Surakshit Matritva Ashwasan notified facilities along with a review of maternal health activities was held at conference hall at the chief medical officer office in Mokokchung on April 8. The Surakshit Matritva Ashwasan Yojana. It is a maternity benefit scheme and it was launched by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare to provide affordable and quality health care solutions to pregnant women and newborns. So remember this scheme, it is associated with pregnant women and newborn. So this scheme, it aims to ensure zero preventable maternal and newborn deaths. So under this scheme, there are three Suman Service Guarantee packages. And currently, there are 4 Suman certified and 33 Suman notified health units in Mokchung district. The maternal mortality refers to the number of maternal deaths which occur due to pregnancy or as a result of a complication of the same. So maternal mortality rate, it is the number of recorded maternal deaths for every 1 lakh live births. And then infant mortality rate, it is the number of deaths per 1,000 live births of children under 1 year of age. Okay. So, an awareness program on mental health was organized under the SBI Sanjeevani Clinic on Wheels, supported by SBI Foundation at Pumro, Kifri. Naga's at LEAP project transforms digital education in Kifri. So LEAP stands for Learning Enhancement and Accessibility Project. It is a 3-year initiative running from June 2023 to June 2026 and it is supported by NITI Aayog's aspirational district programs and it is implemented in partnership with the Kifri District Administration, Naga Ed and the Central Square Foundation. So under this project, it covers 15 schools in Kifri, impacting over 1,200 students and more than 35 teachers across classes 9 and 10 in mathematics and science. Nagaland CM delegation, they inspected the development projects in Lower Tizu under Kungro subdivision in Kifri. So the delegation also visited Rania Kun Cave in Mimi. So Rania Kun Cave, it is in Mimi. Chuchu Yimlang to host Montse Festival on May 1st. Chuchu Yimlang village in Nagaland's Mokchong district will host the Montse Festival 2026 on May 1st at the Anumai Amphitheatre, continuing its tradition of inter-tribal celebration. The Nagaland Tourism Department declared Chuchu Yimlang as the state's Montse destination in the year 2000. For this year's celebration, cultural troops from the Prom and Chang communities will participate under the Ancha tradition, along with engagement from other tribes such as Konyak and Sangtam. Longsa installed monolith to document 768-year legacy. A monolith documenting the historical origin and continuity of Longsa village traced to AD 1258 was erected at Longsa Imlongtama on April 25th. So this monolith it records the legacy of Ryong Sangar generation and the village founding clan that is Kongka, Sani, Rinsuba and Mutsubu. Mon police had inaugurated the phase 2 of the Aulan project at Tizit on April 11, marking a significant steps towards strengthening surveillance and enhancing public safety across the district. So the first phase it was earlier launched in Limon town in the year 2025. So Aulan project it is related to Mon Police, okay? And under this project, it seeks to bring the entire district under comprehensive CCTV surveillance coverage with a view to enhancing security, strengthening law enforcement, and promoting public safety. So try to recall the full form of CCTV. The term Aulan it is derived from the Konyak dialect, which translates to eagle, symbolizing vigilance, sharp vision, and proactive surveillance. Memorandum of Understanding on Vidyadan Scholarship signed for government school students in Nagaland. So this Memorandum of Understanding on Vidyadan Scholarship, okay, it is for government school students only. In a major boost for students from government schools who recently cleared the High School Leaving Certificate and HSSLC examination, a Memorandum of Understanding was signed between Sarojini Damodaran Foundation and the Department of School Education at Chief Secretary's Conference Hall offering Vijayadan Scholarship for government school students on April 28. Under the MOU, the Vijayadan Scholarship Program offered by the Sarojini Damodar Foundation will be reserved for indigenous students of Nagaland with a strong focus on those completing class 10 from government schools for a period of 5 years, extendable upon mutual agreement, and it will be effective from 1st May 2026 till 31st of March 2031. So the selected students, they will receive financial assistance to pursue higher education and continue graduation subject to consistent academic performance and adherence to program guidelines. The program adopts a holistic development approach with a rigorous selection process involving tests, interviews, and home visits to ensure the genuine need. Beneficiaries they are further supported through continuous mentoring, career guidance, life skill training, and exposure to opportunities that enhance employability. So under this program, Vidyadhan will provide rupees 10,000 per year for grade 11 and 12, while degree level scholarships will range from rupees 25,000 to 75,000 per year depending on the course pursued. The Chizami Community Seed Bank, established in 2018, and it is managed by the Chizami Women Society, currently conserves over 150 traditional seed varieties, including 50 paddy varieties, 7 types of maize, 8 varieties of millets, and several beans and vegetables. So the IGAR KVK PEC, they have been providing technical support to the seed bank since 2024. This seed bank, it was recently acknowledged in the episode of Man Ki Baat where Prime Minister Narendra Modi appreciated its efforts in conserving traditional crop diversity. ELESC marks Ambedkar birth anniversary with entrepreneurship push in Woka. A program marking the 135th birth anniversary of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, along with an entrepreneurship awareness initiative, it was held at Woka Town. It was organized by Edu Center Livelihood and Entrepreneurship Skills Center under the theme Samvidhan Se Swarozgar, translating the constitutional values into economic empowerment. This event it was sponsored by the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Foundation, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Government of India. So Dr. B. Rao Ramji Ambedkar, he was born on April 14, 1981, and he died on December 6, 1956. So name the autobiographical work by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar that is used as a textbook in the Columbia in university. So try to recall this. Educational institutions across Boca district observe Black Day on April 14, okay? As notified by the Lota Students Union with participation from schools throughout the district. So this Black Day it is observed on 14th of April in Woka district to remember late Chumdamo Tungoy of Pura village and late Tumkumo Isam of Longsa village who laid down their lives on April 14, 1977 during a tragic incident of police firing at a peaceful procession organized by the Union. Mount T in Nagaland's Woka district has emerged as one of the most visited trekking destinations this spring as vibrant red rhododendron flowers, locally known in the Lota language as Subentara carpet, its slopes in full bloom, drawing a marked rise in visitors compared to previous years. Wokha declared drug-free district by Lota Yud Koho ban from May 1st. So violators of the ban will face a fine of rupees 50,000 and permanent expulsion from Wokha district. The 8th edition of Nagaland Emergency Preparedness Exercise 2026, that is NEP exercise, it was being conducted in phases across Nagaland under the aegis of Nagaland State Disaster Management Authority, Home Department with support from National Disaster Management Authority, Government of India. So Operation Night Guard, this is an air raid and blackout exercise. It was conducted on April 30 as a civil defense preparedness activity involving siren activation, temporary blackout measures to test emergency alert systems, and public response. So, the Nagaland Emergency Preparedness Exercise 2026, it will stimulate a strong earthquake of magnitude 7.7 with its epicenter at Pepima to test Nagaland's disaster preparedness. Air raid and blackout exercise will commence at 6:30. It was already commenced at 6:30 p.m. in designated civil defense town across 10 districts. Okay, the 10 districts was Dimapur, Kohima, Mokokchung, Wokha, Zanaputo, Mon, Pek, Tuensang, Perin, and Kifri. The Indian Red Cross Society Nagaland State Branch will organize a walkathon titled Walk for Humanity on May 8 to mark World Red Cross Day and commemorate the 198th birth anniversary of Red Cross founder Henry Dunant. Documentary on Naga sacred site gets its world premiere at home. Asufu Christian Institute in Mao hosted the world premiere of a documentary film, A Sacred Place. It was directed and produced by Naga anthropologist Doliki Konuke. So remember this. So this documentary tells the story of stones, spirits, and salt springs of Mekhel, known as Makrai Rabu in the Mao Naga language, meaning a sacred place. The site it holds deep historical significance for many Naga communities as a site from which lineage and migration across the Naga homeland often traced. So some of the other works of Doli Kikon includes Abundance, Living with a Forest, and Seasons of Life. Prime Minister Narendra Modi highlighted the growing transformation of the bamboo sector in Nagaland and the wider Northeast, stating that reforms made after changing British-era laws had opened new avenues for employment businesses and innovation across the region during the 133rd episode of its monthly radio program, Man Ki Baat. So, according to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, bamboo was earlier classified as a tree under colonial era law, resulting in stringent regulations and making transport and trade difficult. He said this discouraged many people from pursuing bamboo based businesses. However, after the law was amended in 2017 and bamboo was removed from the tree category, the sector has witnessed renewed growth, especially in the Northeast. Referring specifically to Nagaland, Modi said that several self-help groups in Dimapur and surrounding areas have added value to bamboo-based products. He further noted that teams such as Korolo Creative Crafts are engaged in bamboo producing furniture handicrafts, and in Mamit district in Mizoram, teams are working on bamboo tissue culture and polyhouse management, while in Sikkim, the Lagastal Bamboo Enterprise is producing handicrafts, incense sticks, furniture, and interior decor items from bamboo, he added. So remember that during the British era laws, bamboo were treated as a tree, okay, under the Indian Forest Act 1927. But in the year 2017, by the Indian Forest Amendment Bill, this bamboo, the government had changed the law and had removed bamboo from the tree category. So this amendment had made it much easier for people to do business with bamboo. So now many self-help groups and companies in the Northeast region are successfully making bamboo food products, furniture and handicrafts, and other items like incense, sticks, decor, etc. So this changing of the old law where the bamboo was termed as a tree has now turned bamboo into a good business opportunity for local people in Nagaland and nearby states. And Nagaland Bamboo Mission, it is a centrally sponsored scheme and it was launched in the year 2018. Nagaland government attends inaugural Northeast Tribal Spring Fest. The governor of Nagaland, Nan Kishore Yadav, he is also the chairman of the Northeast Zone Cultural Center, and he attended the first edition of the Uttar Purva Janjanati Vasant Utsav Northeast Tribal Spring Festival at Guwahati. The Task Force for Music and Arts inspires young artists at World Art Day celebration. So World Art Day, it is celebrated on 15th of April, okay, to honor Leonardo da Vinci. So the official theme for 2026 is a garden of expression cultivating community through art. So the chairman of TAFMA is Teja Maru, and then TAFMA was established in the year 2019. Together for a drug-free Nagaland Police. The Nagaland Police has assured citizens that those extending genuine support in maintaining the law and order or combating crime and drug trafficking would be duly recognized and rewarded with their identities kept confidential. So together against drug, together for a safer Nagaland. So Nasha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan Drug Free India campaign, it was launched on which year? The Nagaland Board of School Education has announced the introduction of 12 additional local languages for class 9 students for the upcoming academic session 2026. The Nagaland Board of School Education, in compliance with a directive from the Narcotic Control Bureau under the Ministry of Home Affairs, has instructed all educational institutions to formally declare their premises and the surroundings areas within a radius of 500 meters as drug-free zones. So remember this, okay? Radius. The Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Northeast Christian University organized an AI Fundamentals training program on April 27 in collaboration with YouthNet and the Global Alliance for Mass Entrepreneurship, with faculty and students participating in hands-on activities on artificial intelligence tools and applications. Fazil Ali College Mokokchung has signed a memorandum of understanding with Eagle Crest Institute as part of the Nagaland Skill and Entrepreneurship Development Mission under IDA. Also, under this memorandum of understanding, it provides discounts to candidates who are seeking admission through the college, aiming to enhance access to skill-based training opportunities for students. Nagaland Skill and Entrepreneurship Development Mission was launched on which date, and it aims to empower and employ how many youth across the state market relevant skills through focused training, strategic placement, and entrepreneurial development. Fazil Ali College, Mukulchung, and CKB Commerce College, Jorhat, Assam, had formalized an institutional partnership agreement for academic cooperation on 23rd of April at Jorhat, Assam. This agreement will remain in force for a period of 5 years with provisions for renewal based on mutual consent and performance review. So when was Fazil Ali College established? Kohima Science College, Jotsama celebrated the fifth edition of its annual Origin Fest under the theme Rooted Yet Rising. Kohima Science College becomes the first government college in Nagaland to qualify for the DPT Star College scheme. So Kohima Science College has once again established itself as one of the premier institutions of higher education in India by becoming the first government college from Nagaland. Okay, so remember this first government college from Nagaland to be selected under the Department of Biotechnology Star College scheme. So this announcement was made on 16th of April 2026. So under this scheme, 8 departments of the college, that is botany, chemistry, geography, geology, mathematics, physics, statistics, and zoology. Okay, they will receive grants from the Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India. So these funds, which they will receive, it will be primarily utilized to strengthen the laboratory infrastructure, procure advanced scientific equipment, and to enhance capacity building initiatives through workshops, seminars, and training programs for undergraduate students, faculty, members, and the wider community. So remember this Kohima Science College, the first government college in Nagaland to qualify for the DPT Star College scheme. Alder College has conducted its fifth edition of Alder Fest under the theme Heritage Unplugged. Nagaland Innovation Expo 2026 was held at Kohima Science College, Jotsama, under the theme Empowering Science, Technology, and Digital Innovation. Nagaland University led multi-institute study decodes cancer fighting potential of traditional Konyak herbal medicine. So the researchers from Nagaland University, Berhampur University, and Savita Medical College, they have, in a preliminary investigation, identified the anti-cancer potential of a traditional herbal formulation used by Konyak tribe of Nagaland, offering scientific insight into indigenous medicinal practices. The multi-institute research team examined a 5-plant polyherbal formulation, which is traditionally used by the Konyak tribal healers. Using the advanced analytical and computational techniques, including the gas chromatography, mass spectrometry, and molecular simulations, the researchers discovered that the formulation's bioactive compounds effectively target VGFR2. Okay, it stands for vascular endothelial growth factor receptor 2. So VGFR2, it is a key protein which is responsible for tumor blood vessel formation. So inhibiting this VGFR2 can potentially restrict tumor growth. So these findings it have been published in Microchemical Journal, a peer-reviewed publication focused on analytical methods for detecting and measuring chemical substances at micro and trace levels. So this study it has been co-authored by Longyu M. Konyak, Giridharan Bhupesh, Partha Sarati Sudarshan, Nokankatla Jamir, and Siddhartha Saika from the Department of Forestry, Nagaland University, along with collaborators from the partner institutions. Nagaland University developed safer hydrogel electrolyte. Nagaland University researchers have developed a sustainable hydrogel membrane electrolyte using the natural biopolymer chitosan. Okay, so chitosan is a natural material from crab or shrimp shells, offering a safer and environmentally friendly alternative to conventional liquid electrolytes used in supercapacitors. So potassium oxalate, it was used as an ionic cross-linker, forming a stable three-dimensional network that enables efficient ion transport. The resulting hydrogel membrane combines high ionic conductivity with mechanical stability, making it suitable for use in solid-state electrical double-layer capacitors. So supercapacitors, they are energy storage devices known for rapid charging and discharging and long operational cycles, with applications in renewable energy systems, electric vehicles, and portable electronics. However, conventional liquid electrolytes, they often face issues such as leakage, volatility, and safety risks. So here, Nagaland University researchers, they have created a safe, eco-friendly hydrogel, which is made from chito, sun, and then potassium oxalate. Okay. So this solid gel, it replaces the risky liquid electrolytes in supercapacitors, offering high performance with no leakage, lower fire risks, and better environmental safety. So who is the Chancellor and Vice Chancellor of Nagaland University? Nagaland University team converts invasive weed into tool for drug synthesis. A research team, which was led by Nagaland University in collaboration with Fazal Ali College Mupukchong, has developed an eco-friendly method to convert the invasive plant, that is Micrania micranta, into silver nanoparticles with applications in pharmaceutical synthesis, antibacterial treatment, and cancer research. So the team had adopted a green chemistry approach, okay, using leaf extractions of the plant to produce stable silver nanoparticles without relying on toxic chemicals typically used in conventional nanomaterial synthesis. These nanoparticles function as catalysts capable of producing imidazoles, key components used in a wide range of medicines within 30 to 180 seconds. So nanoparticles, they can be reused at least 6 times with minimal loss efficiency, reducing production costs and chemical waste. So this research, it was supported by the Anusandhan National Research Foundation and the National Fellowship for Scheduled Tribe Students. So basically, the research team, they have turned a problematic weed that grows everywhere into cheap, green, reusable tool for making drugs. Nagaland University led study uses GIS to track environmental degradation in Kohima. So the full form of GIS is Geographic Information System. Okay. A study led by Nagaland University has used GIS modeling and remote sensing to analyze environmental degradation in Kohima district, highlighting the significant changes in land use, climate patterns, and geological stability in the Northeast Hill region. So this study was conducted in collaboration with PNG Government PG College, Ramnagar. Nagaland University Geology Museum receives a rare dinosaur fossil donation by Supung Uzukam. Okay. St. Joseph College secures patent for super absorbent gel. St. Joseph College, Jakama, has announced the publication of its first patent by the Intellectual Property Office, Government of India. The patent was titled as Citric Acid Cross-Linked Gelatin Polyacrylic Acid Co-Sodium Acrylate Superabsorbent Hydrogel, and it has been developed by Dr. Don Guy Loom Kamai, who is an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry in the college. The invention represents an environmental friendly, high absorbent material which is capable of absorbing and retaining large amounts of water. It has potential applications in agriculture, hygiene products, and environmental management. So this material it remains effective even in saline conditions and can absorb water exceeding 10 times its own weight under controlled conditions. The Department of Chemistry, Patkai Christian College, organized a workshop on skills, choices, and opportunities, strategic career planning for college students on April 1st at the college conference hall. So this program it was held under the DPT Star College project. So remember that Patkai Christian College in Chumukatima, it became the first college in Nagaland which was selected under the Department of Biotechnology Star College scheme, the first college in Nagaland. And then Kohima Science College, okay, it is the first government college. So remember that Patkai Christian College, it holds the distinction of being the first overall. And then Kohima Science College, okay, the first government college. Naga National Council and the federal government of Nagaland will commemorate 36th death anniversary of A.Z. Pizzo, who was the former NNC president and he was regarded as the father of the Naga nation. Okay, so his anniversary falls on April 30. He was born on 16th of May and then he died on 30 April 1990. Governor of Nagaland has assigned additional charge of the Development Commissioner Nagaland to Santiyang Imshin, I as Chief Secretary of Nagaland. Nagaland appoints new state commissioner for PWD, that is Tongpang L. Jamir. So this appointment was made under Section 79(1) of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016, and this appointment is for a period of 3 years or until he attains the age of 65 years. NSCW chairperson W. Ginye Konyak receives Phenomenal She Award. Okay, she was awarded this award at the 8th edition of the Phenomenal She by the Indian National Bar Association. Abdul Mek was named one of GQ's most influential young Indians for 2026 on April 23rd. So he became the first Naga to be featured on this prestigious annual list. Other personalities include Hanuman Kind, Kiara Advani, Kriti Sanon, Raghav Juyal, and Sarah Tendulkar. Hornbill TV reporter selected to attend Select USA Investment Summit. So she is Kekrisino Keho. So she is a reporter with Hornbill TV. So she is among the 5 individuals who were selected from India to represent different regional interests at the summit. So the summit is scheduled to be held in Washington, D.C. from 3rd of May to 6th of May. Nagaland's Lenti Iyer receives SUNY Chancellor's Award for Students' Excellence. Singer-songwriter Im Nayadan and corporate professional Imli Kokla Longcha have been honored by Lieutenant General Abhijit S. Pendarkar, General Officer Commanding 3 Corps at Rangapahar. Okay? They were honored for their dedicated service, unwavering commitment, and significant contributions towards cultural empowerment and holistic development of Nagaland's youth under Operation Sadbhavna. Naga artist Sheshalo Bedio exhibits her paintings in New Delhi. So Sheshalo Bedio, she has exhibited her paintings at the ongoing program titled Transforming Tribal India Through Technologies and Science Opportunities Aspirations Pathways, which was organized by Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, along with Northeast Center for Technology Application and Research, and ITI Dun Sanskriti School, Dehradun, at Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi. Nikali K. Shohei represented Nagaland at the 61st Femina Miss India 2026. So it was held on April 18 in Bhubaneswar, Odisha, and then the winner was Sadhvi Sail from Goa. Nagaland-based band The Glutons officially released their studio album Modern Naga at the Little Attic, making a significant milestone in the musical journey. Northeast gets 6 BCCI-funded cricket academies. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he inaugurated 6 indoor cricket training centers across 6 states, including Nagaland, in the Northeast region. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he inaugurated the facilities, which was funded by the Board of Control for Cricket in India, remotely during a public function in Gangtok on April 28, marking the 50th anniversary of the formation of the Sikkim as the 22nd state of India. So the one for Nagaland, okay, indoor cricket stadium, it is located in Sovyuma in Chumukatima, and it was built at a cost of rupees 19.8 crore. The other states who got this cricket academies were Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Sikkim, and Arunachal Pradesh. So according to the Nagaland Cricket Association, the construction of the facility, it began in August 2023 and it completed in November 2025. So Madhya Pradesh-based Nippani Infotech handled the construction as prescribed by the BCCI technical and quality standards, and Grant Thornton Bharat was the project management consultant. First Khelo India Tribal Games, it was held at Chhattisgarh, okay, from March 25th to April 3rd, across the districts Raipur, Jagdalpur, and Ambikapur. The official mascot of Khelo India Tribal Games was More Veer. Okay, More signifies our own, and Veer stands for bravery and strength. So Nagaland also bagged 7 medals at the Khelo India Tribal Games. That is 2 gold, 2 silver, and 3 bronze. So in the overall medal tally, Karnataka they emerged as champions with 23 gold, 8 silver, 7 bronze. Odisha finished second with 21 gold, 15 silver, and 21 bronze. And Jharkhand they secured the third position with 16 gold, 8 silver, and 11 bronze medals. So the host state, that is Chhattisgarh, they finished with 3 gold, 10 silver, and 6 bronze medals. So these are the winners. Kekresile Rio wins Grand Prix in France. So Nagaland's rising equestrian star Kekresile Rio has clinched the Grand Prix title at Harras de Liberty in France, riding his horse Presley OL, marking a major achievement for Indian equestrian sport. So this sport is a very expensive sport. Okay, Nagaland athlete wins 2 gold medals at the National Kettlebell Championship. Okay, so he is Lanuakam Longkamar. Okay, so this event it took place at Hyderabad from April 3rd to 5th. Nagaland's first national referee selected for I-League 3 duties, and he is Mechevele Yashu. So he is the first national referee from Nagaland. And he has now also become the first from the state to be listed to officiate within the I-League structure. So this I-League 3, it is the fourth tier league in Indian football. TCS Myridin Newmai wins at Immortal Fighting Championship. So Myridin Newmai, he belongs to the Zilang community, and he defeated Tribhuvan Isar at the Immortal Fighting Championship, which took place at Koramangala Indoor Stadium at Bangalore. A 4 member Naga wrestling team will represent India at the UWW Asian Belt Wrestling Championship 2026 to be held in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan. So remember this. The UWW Asian Belt Wrestling Championship, it is to be held in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan. The Nagaland Football Association has announced the final selected players for the upcoming Under 20 National Championship 2026 to be held in Narayan Narayanpur, Chhattisgarh. So the Under 20 National Championship 2026, it will be held at Narayanpur, Chhattisgarh. And then the Nagaland Amateur Boxing Association has officially sent a team of 7 junior boys and girls National Boxing Championship scheduled for April 4 to 11 in Nagpur, Maharashtra. So the 7th Junior Boys and Girls National Boxing Championship, it was held in Nagpur, Maharashtra. A Bowl of Clouds, a collaborative work by writer, author, and publisher Vishurita Kocha and illustrator Adeno Shirat Luikam was launched, bringing together food, memory, and storytelling in a deeply personal way. So this was Pentrill's 128th publication. So remember this book, A Bowl of Clouds, it is a collaborative work by author Vishurita Kocha and then Adeno Shirat Luikam, who is the illustrator. So Vishurita Kocha, she is also the president of Kohima Press Club. She recently became the president of Kohima Press Club. Lemons and Sunflowers and All Things Yellow and My Haiku Heart. So these 2 books are by the author Tia Lila Kikon. Chubala book launched in Dimapur chronicles legacy of pioneering Naga woman, highlighting the life achievements and enduring legacy of Chubala Longomar. So Chubala Longomar, she became the first secretary of the Nagaland Public Service Commission. Free and fair 28 Koredang Assembly constituency in Mokokchung district. So a total of 22,266 electors, including 11,253 male and 11,013 female voters. They will decide the fate of 6 candidates. Okay, so these are the 6 candidates when polling begins on April 9th, and the counting is scheduled for May 4th. So the by-elections to the 28th Koredang Constituency Assembly concluded with an overall voter turnout of 82.21%, with polling conducted across 30 polling stations. So one of the highest deployments of security forces for a single constituency. So, according to the official data, a total of 18,045 votes were casted through EVMs, along with 253 postal ballots and 18 votes under the PWD category, taking the total votes polled to 18,316. So, the highest percentage of the polling it was recorded at Mangmatong polling station 2 with 99.08%, while the lowest was at Alishan polling station at 15.30%. So this Corridon Assembly constituency, the seat fell vacant following the demise of veteran politician and former Minister Imkong L. Imchin on November 11, 2024. So under Section 151A of the Representation of the Peoples Act 1951, okay, this section it mandates that by-election must be conducted within how many months of a legislative vacancy, ensuring timely representation. Also, this section of the Act it stipulates that by-elections are not required if the remaining term of the Assembly or the vacancy is less than dash year. So try to recall or try to find out these answers. Now, who is the present Chief Electoral Officer of Nagaland? Try to remember this. Northeastern Council records rupees 1,496.78 crore expenditure in financial year 2025 to 26. So Northeastern Council, it is the apex statutory body for the planning and development of India's 8 northeastern states. Okay. So remember this, it is a statutory body for planning and development of India's 8 northeastern states, and it has recorded a total expenditure of rupees 1,496.78 crore in the financial year 2025 to 26, signaling a decisive acceleration in the region's development trajectory. So remember this Northeastern Council, it is not a constitutional body, okay, but a statutory organization because questions have been asked like, for example, what is an NEC? Is it a constitutional body, a statutory organization, or something like that? So remember this. So it was established in the year 1971 under the Northeastern Council Act 1971. So the composition, the members include governors of all Northeastern states, chief ministers of all Northeastern states, 3 members nominated by the President of India, and the administrative structure, it works under the Ministry of Development of the Northeastern region. So remember the Union Home Minister, he acts as the ex-officio chairman of the Northeastern Council. Minister of State, Donor serves as the vice chairman. The Nagaland Handloom and Handicrafts Development Corporation Limited, it is a government of Nagaland undertaking established in the year 1979 to promote and develop traditional handloom handicraft products unique to state. NAGADAO, it is an organization and it stands for Nagaland Network of Drug and AIDS Organization. It is the apex body of NGOs and civil society organizations working in the fields of drugs and HIV and AIDS. So it was officially launched on December 2003 at Kohima. The Street Vendors Association Nagaland. So another association was formally inaugurated at Hotel Saramati Conference Hall in Dimapur, that is the Street Vendors Association Nagaland, bringing together over 100 street vendors from various commercial sectors. Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood and Regulation of Street Vending Act, it came into effect on May 1st, 2014, and it was implemented to legalize the vending rights of street vendors, and its main objective was to safeguard and regulate street vending in urban areas. Okay, so remember this, urban areas with state level regulations and programs overseen by ULB through the formulation of bylaws, planning and enforcement. So remember the Article 19 1G of the Indian Constitution, it grants the citizens the fundamental right to practice any profession, trade, or business. So, Prime Minister Street Vendors Atma Nirbhar Nidhi scheme. So, it is PM Savanidhi scheme. It was launched in June 2020. So, this scheme it was launched to assist the street vendors. Okay, to overcome the adverse effects of financial constraints and to restart their lost businesses during the pandemic. However, since the inception of the scheme, it has proved to be more than financial support for the street vendors and has given them a sense of identity and formal recognition for their contribution to the economy. So on August 27, 2025, the Union Cabinet, which is chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, approved the restructuring and extension of the lending period beyond 31 December 2024 of Prime Minister Street Vendors Atma Nirbhar Nidhi scheme. So now the lending period has been extended until March 31st, 2030. with an outlay of rupees 7,332 crore. So this restructured scheme, it will benefit 1.15 crore beneficiaries, including 50 lakh new beneficiaries. So you can go through this restructured Swanidhi scheme. We also have Chief Minister Microfinance Initiative. So this initiative, it was jointly launched by Nirmala Sitharaman, our Union Finance Minister, and Chief Minister Dr. Nifurio on 23rd August 2022. So under this initiative, it aims to ensure availability of affordable credit for carrying out economic activities. So under the scheme, it aims to enhance farmers' income by increasing investment in agri and allied sector, improve agri-marketing, network and infrastructure, promote credit discipline, and boost private enterprise. So the eligible beneficiaries for the scheme are farmers, entrepreneurs, self-help groups, farmer produce organizations, company, and cooperative societies. The eligible schemes are construction of circular eco-hatchery, rejuvenation of animal husbandry through credit linkage, procurement of transport vehicle for agriculture products, integrated farming system, horticulture crop loan scheme, and microfinance scheme for micro enterprises. So those who are interested may also apply to the district level implementation cum monitoring committee, which is headed by the deputy commissioner of the concerned district. So this the funding pattern are as follows. So beneficiaries contribute 10% and then the bank loan 60%, back and the subsidy by government of Nagaland, that is 30%. So in addition, the state government shall also provide interest subvention of 4% to KCC loans and credit linkage to farmers over and above 3% provided by Government of India on prompt repayment of dues by the borrower. So the moratorium period up to maximum of 6 months and repayment period up to maximum of 7 years and maximum ceiling admissible under this scheme will be rupees 15 lakh. So Dimapur district was trifurcated on December 2021. The government of Nagaland announced the creation of two new districts, that is Jumukutima and Newland, by carving them out of the existing district, Dimapur district. So Dimapur district was inaugurated as the 8th district of Nagaland in December 1997. So Dimapur was upgraded to an ADC level subdivision under Kohima district on April 2nd, 1976. So Dimapur is described as mini India and a window through which outsiders view the state. So Dimapur will get a new DC complex and the building contract they went to CK Enterprise. Newland District was formally inaugurated on June 28, 2022. So remember, the cabinet officially approved its creation and notified it as the 14th district on December 20, 2021, but it was formally inaugurated on June 28, 2022. Similarly, for Jumukutima, it was officially created on December 18, 2021, and it was inaugurated on 29 June 2022. The Doyang Hydropower Station remains protected area, NIPCO. Northeastern Electric Power Corporation Limited has reissued a public advisory reminding individuals, groups, and organizations that the Doyang Hydropower Station, located in Wokha district, remains a protected area under the Government of Nagaland notification. So this project area, it was declared as a protected area, okay, on October 5th, 1996. So Doyang Hydroelectric Project, it is a NTPC NIPCO owned hydropower project situated on River Doyang, which is a tributary of the river Brahmaputra, and it is located in Wokha district of Nagaland. So it was commissioned in the year 2000, and the total installed capacity of the project is 75 megawatt. So the Doyang Hydro project has an installed capacity of 75 megawatt. What percentage of the power from this project is typically received by the state of Nagaland? So try to recall this. The Eastern Konyak Union had held a public rally at Khamoy village to condemn an alleged drone strike by Indian military forces that damaged a civilian house and endangered the lives of an elderly man and his grandson. So Khamoy, it is a Naga village located in the Naga self-administered zone of Myanmar under the Eastern Konyak region. So this Naga self-administered zone, it is a self-administered zone in the Naga Hills consisting of three townships, that is Lahe, Leshi, Nanyun, okay, in the area of Sagaing region of Myanmar. So its administrative seat is in the town of Lahe. And this Naga self-administered zone, it was created under the terms of the 2008 Constitution of Myanmar. Its official name was announced by a decree on 20th August 2010. A new school has begun classes in the remote Eastern Konyak area established under the Mount Veda Peace Mission, an initiative of NSC and IM collective leadership. So remember this Mount Veda Peace Mission, this is an initiative of NSC and IM. So the Eastern Naga Living School, it is located in Chen Hoyat village and it was constructed in November 2025 and inaugurated formally on 27th of February 2026. So Chen Hoyat, it is a Naga village located in the Naga self-administered zone of the Sagaing region in Myanmar. Nagaland Agriculture Policy 2025. It was prepared by the Department of Agriculture and it was tabled during the 8th session of the 14th Nagaland Legislative Assembly in Kohima. Nagaland Agriculture Policy 2025. Okay, it flags climate change as a growing threat to rain-fed farming and underscores climate smart, resilient practices to safeguard this sector. So, climate smart agriculture, it was defined as a strategic goal 4 of the Nagaland agriculture policy, and it aimed at building a climate resilient agricultural sector through sustainable practices, climate resilient technologies, and empowered farmers. This also involves prioritizing the integration of traditional knowledge with innovation, interdepartmental collaboration, and the needs of vulnerable communities. Apart from the climate smart agriculture, the Nagaland agriculture policy, it outlined 8 additional strategic goals representing key priorities areas for action and providing a framework for developing specific programs, initiatives, and targets of the government of Nagaland. So this included enhancing productivity, natural resource management, sustainable agriculture, sustainable input management, infrastructure and market development, knowledge, technology and innovation systems, digitization and finance and crop insurance. As part of its policy commitment, the Nagaland agriculture policy stated that an implementation plan document would be developed based on a phased implementation approach intended to provide a structured roadmap for translating the policy into action, ensuring timely and measurable outcomes. So, under the phase approach, that is phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Phase 1, that is for 1 to 3 years, it would prioritize institutional strengthening and pilot projects. Phase 2, that is 4 to 6 years, it would focus on scaling up successful models, and then phase 3, that is 7 plus years, it would aim to full scale adoption of sustainable, market driven, and climate resilient agriculture practices. The implementation strategy, the Nagaland agriculture policy health would be aligned with the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047, focusing on resilient, market oriented, and ecologically sound agriculture practices that empowers farmers and promote inclusive growth. Nagaland police detected a total of 644 inner line permit defaulters during an intensified checking drive carried out across districts bordering Assam on April 10 and 11. So, what is ILP in Nagaland? Inner line permit, it is a regulatory mechanism under the Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation 1873, okay, which makes it mandatory for persons from outside Nagaland to obtain a permit to enter and stay in the state for a limited period as prescribed by the government of Nagaland, okay. So, according to the state's ILP portal, the government has laid down specific conditions, formats, and procedures for obtaining the permit. These vary based on the category of applicants, which include domestic tourists, foreign tourists, and other categories. Other categories include laborers, business partners, priests or nuns, professionals, students, teachers, dependents, or family members, traders or business persons, among others. So the validity are as follows. For student, it is 365 days. Businessmen or traders 90 days, private employees 90 days, and tourists for 15 days. Nagaland State Disaster Management Authorities. So the Government of India on 23rd of December 2005 enacted the Disaster Management Act 2005, which envisaged the creation of the National Disaster Management Authority. And this National Disaster Management Authority, it is headed by Prime Minister. State Disaster Management Authorities is headed by the Chief Minister. Okay, so remember this. And the District Disaster Management Authorities, it is headed by the Deputy Commissioners. So Section 3 of the Disaster Management Act 2005, it lays down establishing a state disaster management authority at the state government level. So for our state, that is Nagaland State Disaster Management Authority, it began its journey in the year 2011. And Nagaland, it falls under Zone 5, okay? And it is referred as very high damage risk zone, and it is given by the Bureau of Indian Standards. Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act. So it was introduced in the parliament in the year 2000 by Atal Bihari Vajpayee government, and it was enacted in 2003, and it was brought into effect on 5th of July 2004. So FRBM Act, it seeks to reduce the fiscal deficits and eliminate revenue deficits and promote intergenerational equity in fiscal management. So it was introduced to address the rising deficits in the 1990s and it is implemented by the Ministry of Finance. So it was enacted to institutionalize prudent fiscal management, reduce fiscal and revenue deficits, and ensure long-term macroeconomic stability. So this act has been amended several times, again, most significantly based on the recommendation of NK Singh Committee, that is 2017. So this act has been in the news because over the last 5 years, Nagaland has consistently failed to maintain fiscal discipline as mandated under the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Framework. Instead of adhering to the prescribed limit of 3% of gross state domestic product, Nagaland has repeatedly exceeded this threshold. So this situation has reached a critical point in 2024 to 25 when the fiscal deficit reportedly surged to an unprecedented level of over 8% of GSDP, more than double the permissible limit. So what it means is that Nagaland government is spending a lot more money than it earns, and it has been doing it for years, and in a way, this is not sustainable. So over the last 5 years, the state has repeatedly broken this limit. Okay, that is the 3%. So this FRBM Act, it is telling the Nagaland government that don't borrow too much, keep your overspending under 3% of your state's total economic output. Okay, and also try to cover your day-to-day bills properly. But over the last 5 years, Nagaland has repeatedly broken this limit again. And in the year 2024 to 25, the overspending reportedly shot up to over 8%, which is more than double the allowed limit of 3% of gross state domestic product. So what this actually means for Nagaland is that the Nagaland government is borrowing heavily to pay for salaries, pensions, projects, power losses, and other expenses. So a big chunk of money comes from the central government, and Nagaland generates very little of its own revenue compared to many other states. So high borrowing adds to state debt pile, which means that more money will go toward interest payments in the future instead of roads, schools, healthcare, or jobs. So this signals poor fiscal discipline. Basically, the books are not balancing and there's heavy reliance on loans and grants. So right now, what our state needs is that better revenue collection, tighter control on spending, and efficiency improvements. Without fixing this, the state risks bigger financial problems down the line. So the government do present targets to improve it, but actual performance has fallen short multiple times, as we have already discussed in the reports which was published by the CAG also. The backward tribe reservation policy was introduced in Nagaland in the year 1977. Article 324 of the Indian Constitution. Okay. It outlines super independence, direction, and control of elections to be vested in Election Commission. So under this article, it gives the Election Commission of India full control over elections. It ensures free and fair polls for parliament, state legislature, and the president and the vice president. So it places the entire selection process under one independent constitutional body. This helps protect democracy and public trust. So the articles mentioned in this PDF are the articles which was mentioned in the news, and whatever sections or rules that I've mentioned in this particular PDF are those which was mentioned in the local dailies. Okay. Article 226 of the Indian Constitution, it empowers the High Court to issue certain writs for the enforcement of fundamental rights and for other purposes. So remember that Article 226, okay, it empowers the High Court to issue writs, whereas Article 32, it empowers the Supreme Court to issue writs. So these are the description of the five writs, so you can go through this. So in under Article 32, okay, it lets you directly rush to the Supreme Court when your basic rights like free speech or equality gets violated. But under Article 226, okay, it lets you go to the High Court for any legal issue, even a broken government contract. Where the government they didn't pay you or they unfairly canceled your tender. So Article 32, it is only for big fundamental rights and it is a right that you have. While Article 226, it covers more situations, but the High Court, they can choose whether to help or not. So this is what it is written here. So remember that Article 32, it covers only fundamental rights. Okay. But Article 226, it covers both the fundamental rights and other legal rights. And Article 226 is for High Court, Article 32 is for Supreme Court. But remember that High Courts, they can also exercise this power in cases where the cause of action arises within their territorial jurisdiction, allowing them to address regional legal matters effectively. So here, the High Court can choose whether they want to help or not. And Article 32 is known as the heart and soul of the Constitution, as described by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So here are the key differences between Article 32 and Article 226. So you can go through this. Article 368 of the Part 20 of Indian Constitution, it provides the procedure and scope for amending the Constitution of India. So it defines Parliament's constituted power, required majorities, state ratification conditions, and related constitutional limitations. So representation of the People's Act 1951. Section 58, it states fresh poll in case of destruction, etc. of ballot boxes. 58A, adjournment of poll or countermanding of election on the ground of booth capturing. 126, 1A, okay, prohibition of public meetings during period of 48 hours ending with hour fixed for conclusion of poll. No person shall display to the public any election matter by means of cinematograph, television, or other similar apparatus. Section 126A, Clause 3. Restriction on publication or dissemination of result of exit polls. Any person who contravenes the provisions of this section shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 2 years or with fine or with both. Right of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016. So this act, it was enacted in year 2016 and it came into force on 19 April 2017. So this act, it replaced Persons with Disabilities Equal Opportunities Protection of Rights and Full Participation Act 1995. The objective of Right of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016 is to ensure that all persons with disabilities can lead their lives with dignity without discrimination and with equal opportunities. So under the Act, disability has been defined as an evolving and dynamic concept. The types of disabilities have been increased from existing 17 to 21, okay, under this Right of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016, and the central government will have the power to add more types of disabilities. So the different types of disabilities include leprosy cured persons, cerebral palsy, acid attack victims, blindness, deaf, specific learning disabilities, autism spectrum disorder, Parkinson disease, hemophilia, etc. So the persons with benchmark disabilities, they are defined as those certified to have at least 40% of the disabilities specified. Every children with a benchmark disability between the age group of 16 to 18 years shall have the right to free education. Okay. So remember, in case of a child with benchmark disability, the age group ranges from 16 to 18 years. And 5% reservation in seats in government and government-aided higher educational institutions for persons with benchmark disabilities, and 4% reservation in government jobs for certain persons or a class of persons with benchmark disability. The Copyright Act 1957, it is a central law governing copyright protection in India. So it came into force on 21st January 1958 and it remains the primary legislation defining the rights of authors, creators, and producers of literary, artistic, musical, dramatic, film, and sound works. So depending on the type of work, this Copyright Act 1957, okay, it provides durations and extended periods. So these are the list of the works and their duration. So mostly the time period is 60 years, okay? And in case of literary, dramatic, musical, and artistic works, okay, it is for a lifetime, but the but once the author passes away, it is for 60 years after year of death. Section 63 in the Copyright Act 1957. So this section, it talks about stealing someone else's creative work. So any person who knowingly infringes or abets the infringement of the copyright in a work or any other right conferred by this act, except the right conferred by Section 53A, shall be punishable with imprisonment for a year, not less than 6 months, which may extend up to 3 years, and with a fine not less than 50,000 rupees, which may extend to 2 lakh rupees. And if it is done for business or profit, there is a minimum punishment of 6 months of jail or a fine of 50,000 rupees unless the court gives special reasons to reduce it. Section 138, Clause 4 of the BNS 2023. So this BNS has replaced the Indian Penal Code. So this section, it deals with cheating and dishonestly inducing delivery of property where a person deceives another to cause wrongful loss or gain. It is a criminal offense punishable with imprisonment of up to 7 years and a fine. Section 63 in BNSS, it talks about power to issue order in urgent cases of nuisance or apprehended danger. Section 125 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. So it provides that any person who has sufficient means to maintain himself cannot deny to maintain his wife, children, and parents if they are not able to maintain themselves. So it is provisions of maintenance of the Criminal Procedure Code 1973. It is applicable to persons belonging to all religions and have no relationship with the personal law of the parties. So in BNSS, in this order of maintenance of wives, children, and parties, it is mentioned in section 144. Sub Rule 3 and Sub Rule 4 of Rule 20 of the Nagaland Municipal Election Rules 2023. So according to this election program and appointment of returning officer. So under sub rule 3, the deputy commissioner of the district, as per the directions of the election commission, shall designate as a returning officer who shall be an officer of the government for every municipality, provided that nothing in this rule shall prevent the same person to be designated as the returning officer for more than one municipality. And under sub rule 4, it is mentioned that the Deputy Commissioner, as per the directions of the Election Commission, may appoint one or more assistant returning officers to assist the returning officer in his or her functions. So this is regarding the family court. So currently in Nagaland, there are only two family courts, one in Kohima and the other in Dimapur, to cater to legal needs of the people in settling issues related to matrimonial disputes. So this is an overview of the family courts in Nagaland, the case disposal and key provisions 2025 to 26. So you can have a glance of this picture here. So family courts in India, they were established to provide a specialized forum for resolving family-related disputes, ensuring speed, sensitivity, and simplicity in judicial proceedings. The 59th Law Commission of India, in its report submitted in 1974, recommended the establishment of family courts in India to provide speedy settlement with fewer expenses and formalities in disputes relating to marriage and family, and to make an agreement between the parties for the reconciliation. The Family Court Act 1984, it was enacted by Parliament on 14th of September 1984 to establish family courts in India. So this act, it contains 6 chapters and 23 sections. So Section 3 of the Family Court Act 1984. It provides that the state government, after consultation with High Court, shall establish the family court in every area of the state where the population is exceeding 1 million, or in the area where the state government deemed necessary. And under Section 4 of the Family Court Act 1984, it says that the state government has the power to appoint one or more persons as the judges of the family court after consulting with the High Court. So remember that the consultation is done with the High Court in case of family courts. So the type of cases that are heard in the family courts are dissolution of marriage, custody of child, domestic violence, maintenance, and property disputes. National Livestock Mission. So this mission, it is initiated by the government of India, and it was launched in the year 2014 to promote sustainable and inclusive growth in the livestock sector. So this mission, it aims to improve the livestock productivity, create rural employment, and enhance the quality of animal-based products. So this mission, it emphasizes poultry, small ruminants, and non-conventional livestock, focusing on the breeding, feeding, and management. The National Livestock Mission, it is implemented by the Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairy, and it was revised and realigned starting in the financial year 2021 to address the current sector needs. As per the 21st livestock census, that is for the year 2024 to 25, Nagaland has around 80,000 bovines. So bovines include cattle, buffalo, mutton, and goat, and about 270,000 pigs, nearly 20 lakh poultry. So these are some of the various schemes, okay, that was in the news. National Ayush Mission, it was launched in the year 2014, and it is a centrally sponsored scheme, and it is implemented by Ministry of Ayushman Bharat Health Accounts, okay, ABHA. So it is a unique 14-digit number used to link all the health records of a person. ABHA, it intends to create a digital health ecosystem and aims to promote digitization of healthcare. So any individual, they can enroll in Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission to generate a health ID or ABHA free of cost. Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, it was launched in the year 2015. So some of the key features of Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana are as follows. So you can go through this one. Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, it was launched on May 9, 2015, and it is a flagship social security initiative of the government of India, which is aimed to protect the citizens from financial distress caused during accidental death or disability. So it covers individuals without formal insurance, especially unorganized workers, daily wage earners, and rural households facing high accident-related financial risk. So any individual between the age of 18 to 70 years of age, they are eligible to enroll, ensuring coverage for the working age population. The Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, it provides clearly defined financial compensation for death and disability caused strictly by accident. So you can go through this National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program. It was launched in the year 2003. So National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program, it is an umbrella program for prevention and control of vector-borne diseases. Okay, so vector-borne diseases are malaria, lymphatic filariasis, kala azar, dengue, chikungunya, and Japanese encephalitis. So malaria, it is caused by Plasmodium parasites transmitted through the bites of infected female Anopheles mosquito. So this malaria, it is not contagious, but it can spread through infected blood or contaminated needles. The most dangerous species are Plasmodium falciparum and Plasmodium vivax. Lymphatic filariasis, it is commonly known as elephantiasis or hatipao, which is a neglected tropical disease. It is a vector-borne disease transmitted by female Culex mosquito. It is caused by infection with parasites classified as nematodes, that is roundworms of the family Filariodidia. There are three types of these thread-like filarial worms, that is Buchereria bancrofti, Burgia malai, Burgia timori. So Buchereria bancrofti, it is responsible for 90% of the cases. Kalas are also known as visceral leishmaniasis. It is a severe form of leishmaniasis caused by protozoa parasite Leishmania donovani. It is transmitted to humans through the bite of infected female sandfly. Okay, people with HIV and other conditions that weaken their immune system are more likely to get sick from Leishmania infection. Dengue, it is also known as breakbone fever, and it is a mosquito-borne viral infection. It is more common in tropical and subtropical climates, mostly in urban and then semi-urban areas. While many dengue infections are asymptomatic or produce only mild illness, the virus can occasionally cause more severe cases and even death. It is transmitted to humans through the bite of infected Aedes mosquitoes carrying one of the four types of dengue virus. Dengue isn't contagious from one person to another, except when passed from pregnant person to their child. Chikungunya, it is a mosquito-borne viral disease caused by chikungunya virus, and it causes severe fever and severe joint pain. Chikungunya, it was first described during an outbreak in southern Tanzania in the year 1952, and now it has been reported in more than 110 countries in Asia, Africa, America, and Europe. The name chikungunya, it is derived from the word in the Kimakonde language of southern Tanzania, meaning that which bends up, and describes the stooped appearance of infected people with severe joint pain. It is transmitted to humans by the bites of infected female mosquito, most commonly Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus mosquitoes. These two species, they can also transmit other viruses, including dengue and Zika virus. It is not transmitted from one person to another. That means that chikungunya, it is not a contagious disease. Japanese encephalitis or brain fever, it is a zoonotic disease and it is caused by an arbovirus group B flavivirus, and the virus is transmitted to humans by infected Culex mosquito of the Vishnui group. Rehabilitation Council of India, it is a statutory body and it was established by an Act of Parliament. It was set up as a registered society in the year 1986, and in September 1922, the RCI Act was enacted by the Parliament and it became a statutory body on 22nd of June 1993. So this Rehabilitation Council of India, it was established to regulate and monitor services given to persons with disabilities, to standardize syllabi, and then maintain a central rehabilitation register for all qualified professionals and personnel working in the field of rehabilitation and special education. Rehabilitation Council of India, it comes under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, and in India, only clinical and rehabilitation psychologists, they are legally regulated through the Rehabilitation Council of India, whereas counseling psychologists, they lack a unified licensing authority to grant formal recognition or legal mandate. Dump Site Remediation Accelerator Program DRAP. So this DRAP, it is a year-long mission mode initiative aimed at fast-tracking the remediation of remaining dump sites across urban India. It was formally launched on November 2025. So the main objective of DRAP is to accelerate remediation and achieve 100% clearance in 1 year, stop new dump sites, and reuse land for solid waste management or green cover. So this DRAP, it was launched under Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0 and Swachh Bharat Mission 2.0. It was launched in the year 2021. So it comes under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, and then the target is to achieve Lakshya Zero dump sites by October 2026. So DRAP, it follows five framework of Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0, that is political leadership, public finance, partnership, people's participation, and project management. So this here it is about Nagaland Solar Mission. So Nagaland Solar Mission, it was launched by Dr. Nifirio on 14th of April 2025. To support the green energy revolution, the state government will provide subsidy of rupees 20,000 per kilowatt to a maximum limit of rupees 50,000 per consumer under this Nagaland Solar Mission. So the state subsidy for systems larger than 3 kilowatt, it is capped at 50,000 rupees. So this Nagaland Solar Mission, it is in convergence with the Prime Minister Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana and Prime Minister Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana. It was launched on February 15, 2024. And then the target of PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana is to install 1 crore solar installations by 2027. So regarding the rooftop solar installation, this is the subsidy that will be provided by the center and the state. Okay. So you can go through this, and then who can avail this scheme? So consumers under IT billing system can avail this scheme. And then this subsidy scheme, it is valid till 31st of March 2027. So this is child protection in Nagaland from constitution to community to courtroom. So you can have a glance of this. And if you want to read the full articles, you just type this heading, that is child protection in Nagaland from constitution to community to courtroom, and then the Morong Express article will pop up. So you can go through this one. In India, the child protection framework, it rests on two interconnected laws, that is the Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act 2015 and then the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012. The Juvenile Justice Act, it adopts a reformative approach focused on care, protection and rehabilitation, and under this act, a child is any person below the 18 years of age and distinguishes between children in need of care and protection, such as those orphaned, abused, or at risk, and children in conflict with law, emphasizing reform and reintegration rather than punishment. So, complementing the Juvenile Justice Act, the POSCO Act, it is a specialized gender neutral law. Okay, so remember this key word here, addressing sexual offenses against children. It introduces child friendly procedures from reporting to trial to minimize trauma and ensure dignity. A central safeguard under POSCO is strict confidentiality. So remember this. The identity of a child victim cannot be disclosed under any circumstances, including after death or with parental consent. This has been upheld by the Supreme Court in Nipun Saxena versus Union of India, which ruled that no information leading to identification may be revealed. At the same time, the legal obligation of any person to report knowledge of a sexual offense against a child to the police or relevant authority under Section 19 distinguishes legal reporting from prohibited public disclosure. So these are some legal red flags which you're not supposed to do. Okay, that is reveal the identity of a child in any form. That is, you cannot reveal the identities, the child's name, photograph, school, locality, or family details. And this provision, it comes under Section 23 of POSCO Act and Section 74 of Juvenile Justice Act. Similarly, you cannot share or forward details on WhatsApp, Facebook, or any digital platform that could lead to identification. It is treated as publication under POSCO, and then it is punishable under the IT Act 2000. One cannot issue public statements, press releases, or community resolutions that directly or indirectly identify the child. So this provision here, it violates confidentiality provisions under POSCO and Juvenile Justice Act. Disclosure identity even with the consent of some parents or guardians, which one is not supposed to do. provide contextual details, that is village, school, family background, that enable a direct identification one is not supposed to do. Circulate, store, or forward any sexually explicit content involving children. So this is punishable under POSCO and IT Act 2000. This is another red flag, that is failing to report a known case of child abuse, a child sexual abuse to authorities. Okay, because in Section 19 POSCO Act, it is written about mandatory reporting of child sexual abuse to authorities. Employing children below the age of 14 years or engage adolescents in hazardous work, it is prohibited under the Child Labor Act 2016. Engage in or facilitate trafficking, exploitation, or commercial sexual activity involving minors is punishable under the BNS 2023 and the Immoral Traffic Prevention Act 1956. Denying access to education or subject children to unsafe or abusive school environments. This violates the provision under the Right to Education Act 2009. So you can go through this table. This table, it defines a child in Indian law, okay, by various framework or statute. So you can go through this list. So this concludes the Nagaland section. So the next section will be about some of the news, the national news and international news, which was covered in the local dailies. Okay, so if you want, you can skip that and directly jump to the MCQ section. The governing body of National Fisheries Development Board announced that Aquax Northeast 2026, that is Regional Fisheries and Aquaculture Expo and Seminar. It will take place on June 12 and 13 at Guwahati, Assam. The AquaX Northeast 2026 is a focused regional edition of AquaX India, designed to serve the heartland of India's freshwater fisheries and inland aquaculture economy. It aims to strengthening the fisheries and aquaculture sector across the northeastern region. So National Fisheries Development Board collaborations has resulted in two schemes, that is Blue Revolution and Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana. So Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana, it is a flagship scheme of the government of India and it was launched in the year September 2020 to bring a blue revolution in the fisheries and aquaculture sector. So this scheme is implemented by the Department of Fisheries, Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairy. Northeastern Frontier Railway has developed a new Bihu Toli, a cultural ground for celebrating Bihu and other important events at Maligaon, and has named it Zubin Garg Railway Bihu Toli in honor of noted Assamese singer Zubin Garg. Okay. Also, a butterfly species was discovered in the previous month in Arunachal Pradesh, and the butterfly species has been named after the Assamese music icon Zubin Garg. Okay, so remember this also. Northeast Frontier Railway hosted the 31st annual national conference of the Railway Association of ISA. So these are some of the major achievements of the Northeastern Frontier Railway in the year 2025 to 2026. So you can go through this list. Northeast Frontier Railway has restored a century-old steam locomotive of the Darjeeling Himalaya Railway, originally built in Glasgow at its workshop in Assam's new Bongaigaon. This historic steam locomotive, that is 801B, it was originally manufactured in the year 1927 by North British Locomotive Company in the United Kingdom. So the world's oldest working steam locomotive operates in India. So what is its name? Zangan is the Chinese name for Arunachal Pradesh, and China has claimed Arunachal Pradesh as part of the southern Tibet. So this news is not new. Which countries in the world has the largest number of international borders? 3 new rove beetle species was discovered in Arunachal Forest. PM Narendra Modi leads mega roadshow in Sikkim to attend celebrations marking 50 years of statehood. So to commemorate the golden jubilee of Sikkim statehood and showcase the state ecological and floral heritage, the Swarna Jayanti Maitri Manjari Park has been developed as the world's world-class orchid experience center. So remember this Swarna Jayanti Maitri Manjari Park, it is in Sikkim. So PM Narendra Modi will also participate in the closing ceremony of Sikkim's 50th statehood celebrations at Paljor Stadium, where he will unveil the development projects worth rupees 4,000 crore. So Paljor Stadium, it is in Sikkim. The Kingdom of Sikkim, it was established in 1642 with Phuntsong Namgyal as the first Chogyal ruler. So the Indian Parliament had passed the 35th Constitutional Amendment Act in the year 1974. So this amendment, it gave Sikkim the unique status of an associate state of the Indian Union and a status not given to any other state before or since. But the Sikkimese people, they were not fully satisfied with this associate status, and in April 1957, Chief Minister of Sikkim appealed to the Indian Parliament for full integration. A special referendum was held where over 97% of the voters they chose to abolish the Chogyal monarchy and fully join India. Following that, the 36th Constitutional Amendment Act 1975 was passed and it officially made Sikkim the 22nd state of the Indian Union on 16th of May 1975. In order to protect the unique cultural identity and history and land rights of the Sikkimese people, Article 371F was inserted into the Indian Constitution. So Sikkim is the only state in India where eligible native residents are exempted from income tax secured by Article 371F of the Constitution and Section 1026 AAA of the Income Tax 1961. So the governor of Sikkim is Om Prakash Mathur, chief minister Prem Singh Tamang, and then major ethnic groups are Lepcha, Bhutia, Nepali. Red panda, it is the state animal of Sikkim. Noble orchid, it is Sikkim state flower, and rhododendron, it is the state tree of Sikkim. State fish is copper mashir. Rajya Sabha, there is one seat, and Lok Sabha, one seat. Sikkim is also home to Kanchenjunga, the third highest peak in the world. So Mount Kanchenjunga, it is the highest peak in India and the third highest peak in the world after Mount Everest and K2. So Kanchenjunga, it is situated in the eastern Himalayas on the border between Sikkim state, northeastern India and eastern Nepal, 74 kilometers north-northwest of Darjeeling, Sikkim. It has an elevation of 28,169 feet or 8,586 meters. It is part of the Great Himalaya range. So the name Kanchenjunga, it has been variously translated as five treasures or strong boxes of the Great Snow or Great Five Peaked Fortress of Snow, a reference to its five separate summits. Charles Evans, in the year 1955, led the British expedition up the southwest face in the first successful ascent of Kanchenjunga. Doordarshan has signed a memorandum of understanding with Indian Council for Cultural Relations at Doordarshan Bhavan in New Delhi to broaden the international dissemination of Indian cultural content through its extensive television, radio, and digital platforms. So Vantara has launched the first global university for wildlife and veterinary sciences. So Vantara was founded by Anand Ambani. He is the Reliance Industry Executive Director. So it is Vantara University. It is in Jamnagar, Gujarat. And it is the world's first integrated global university dedicated to wildlife conservation and veterinary sciences. The second meeting of the Committee of Presiding Officers to review the powers of presiding officers under the 10th schedule of the Constitution and the rules made thereunder, it was held in Puri, Odisha on April 21st. The opening ceremony of the India Skills Competition 2025 to 26, it was held on March 29 at Auditorium 1, Gautam Buddha University, Greater Noida, Uttar Pradesh. So this marks the formal commencement of one of country's largest skill development competition. So India Skill Competition, it is a flagship initiative of the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Government of India, and it is implemented by National Skill Development Corporation to promote and recognize excellence in vocational skills. National launch of 8 Portion Pakwada 2026. So this 8 Portion Pakwada, it was held from 9 to 23rd of April 2026. So remember this date also. And then the theme is maximizing brain development in the first 6 years of life. The Ministry of Women and Child Development will celebrate the 8th edition of the Portion Pakwada from 9 to 23rd of April 2026, reaffirming the government's commitment to improving nutritional outcomes across the country. So the launch of Portion Pakwada 2026, it already took place on 9th of April 2026 in Vigyan Bhavan, New Delhi, under the visionary leadership of Union Minister for Women and Child Development, Annapurna Devi, and in the presence of State for Women and Child Development, Savitri Thakur, along with Secretary Women and Child Development, Shri Anil Malik. So the theme for Poshan Pakwara 2026 is maximizing brain development in the first 6 years of life, recognizing that early childhood, particularly the first 1,000 days, is critical for brain development, physical growth, and overall well-being. Scientific evidence indicates that over 85% of brain development occurs by the age of 6, okay, underscoring the importance of optimal nutrition responsive caregiving and early learning. The key focus area under this year themes include maternal and child nutrition, early stimulation for brain development, play-based education in early years, role of parents and community in minimizing screen time, strengthening Anganwadi centers through community participation. Bank of Baroda unveiled its BOB Samvad, which was formally launched by Shri M. Nagaraju, Secretary of Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance in Mumbai, on March 28, 2026. So, BOB Samvad, this platform, it is an industry-first AI-powered multilingual conversational platform which is aimed at transforming customer interactions at its branches. So remember that this BOB Samvad, it was launched by Bank of Baroda. Bank of Baroda have partnered with Reliance Jio to bring the mobile banking services to feature phone users. So this initiative introduces the BOB World Lite app and it will be available on the Jio phone devices. Beam Payments app, the homegrown digital payments platform developed by NPCI Beam Services Limited, announced the launch of its Mahi Way campaign featuring MS Dhoni to promote secure and simple digital payments. So this campaign, it positions Beam as a clear and dependable choice, enabling users to complete payments instantly. BJP marks 46th Foundation Day with nationwide celebration. The Bharatiya Janata Party observed the 46th Foundation Day on April 6, 2026, commemorating its formal establishment on that date in the year 1980, following its emergence from the Bharatiya Jana Sangh and Janata Party eras. So the party origins lie in Bharatiya Jana Sangh, which was founded in 1951 by Indian politician Shyama Prasad Mukherjee after he left the Hindu Mahasabha to form a party as the political wing of RSS. So after the emergency in the year 1975 to 1977, the Jana Sangh emerged with several other political parties to form the Janata Party. Artemis 2, it is the first crewed mission of NASA's Artemis program. Okay, so remember this. Marking the return of humans to the lunar vicinity after a gap of 50 years since Apollo 17 in 1972. So Artemis 1 was uncrewed mission, okay? But this Artemis 2, it is the first crewed mission of NASA. So regarding Artemis 2 mission, launch date was April 1st, 2026. It successfully landed from Kennedy Space Center, Florida. The nature of mission, a crewed lunar flyby, duration approximately 10 days, spacecraft, Orion multi-purpose crew vehicle powered by European Service Module, launch vehicle, that is Space Launch System, the most powerful operational rocket in history, producing 8.8 million pounds of thrust. So the four-member crew represents a shift towards inclusivity and international cooperation in deep space. And the four-member crew are Reed Wiseman from USA. He was the commander. Victor Clover from USA, the pilot. Christina Koch from USA, mission specialist. And Jeremy Hansen from Canada, mission specialist. And he is also the first non-American to fly to the moon. So regarding Artemis 3, it is planned to launch on 2027 and it will be the first crewed lunar landing, which means the pattern will follow test, crew, and land. Government reconstitutes Niti Aayog. So Sri Ashok Kumar Lahiri ji, he became the vice chairman of Niti Aayog. So Niti Aayog, it stands for National Institution for Transforming India and it was established on January 1st, 2015. So the composition of Niti Aayog, the chairman is the Prime Minister of India, vice chairman is appointed by Prime Minister, ex-official members up to 4 members from the Union Council of Ministers nominated by the Prime Minister. Governing Council, known as Team India, it includes PM, Vice Chairperson, ex-official member, full-time members, Chief Ministers of States, and Lieutenant Governors of Union Territories. CEO, it is appointed by Chief Minister for a set term, manages Niti Aayog's daily operations and holds the rank of Secretary to the Government of India. Full-time members, they are experts in the domains of economics, science, and other disciplines. Regional councils formed to address specific regional issues. This council consists of chief ministers and lieutenant governors and are chaired by PM or an appointed representative. Supporting cells and departments, Niti Aayog's specialized cells, including the Circular Economy Cell, Communication Cell, Library, Northeast Forum, and Voluntary Action Cell, supports its mission of fostering inclusive growth and effective governance across India. So, who is the CEO of Niti Aayog? So, this picture here, he is Ashok Kumar Lahiri. Samrat Chaudhary, he has sworn in as the 24th Chief Minister of Bihar. Toku Teki, he has been appointed as UCF spokesperson for Northeast India. UCF stands for United Christian Forum. Gam Awangshi Shimri from Northeast India, he has been appointed as a member of Asia of the Expert Mechanism on the Rights of Indigenous People by UN Human Rights Council. Army Eastern Western Southern Commandos, they get new commanders. So Lieutenant General Pushpendra Pal Singh, he has overtaken the charge as the General Officer Commanding in Chief of the Western Command. General V. Lieutenant General V.M.B. Krishnan has assumed charge of the Eastern Command, and then Lieutenant General Sandeep Jain has been appointed as the new Southern Army Commander, replacing Lieutenant General Set. Myanmar's parliament has elected military leader Min Aung Hlaing as the president. So he won 429 votes out of 584 votes. The Iraqi parliament has elected Kurdish politician Nizar Amidi as the country's new president. The death of legendary playback singer Asha Bhosle on 12th of April 2026 at the age of 92 marks the definitive end of an era in Indian music. She was affectionately known as Asha Tai, and she died in Mumbai's Breach Candy Hospital following complications from cardiac and respiratory issues. So she was born on 8th of September 1933 in Sangli, Maharashtra. And she is the daughter of classical singer Pandit Dinanand Mangeshkar and then the younger sister of the Nightingale of India, that is Lata Mangeshkar. So these are some of her awards and honors. She was awarded the Dada Saheb Phalke Award in the year 2000, Padma Vibhushan in the year 2008, Grammy nomination in 1997, the first Indian singer to be nominated for a Grammy, Maharashtra Bhushan in the year 2021. Her last rites were performed with full state honors at Shivaji Park, Mumbai, the same location where her sister Lata Mangeshwar was laid to rest. Tennis dominated the grand stage at the Laureus World Sports Award 2026 ceremony as Carlos Alcaraz, he is from Spain, and Ariana Sabalenka from Belarus were crowned sportsmen and sportswomen respectively. The sixth Asian Beach Games, Indian women's team, they won gold, and then men, they won silver. So India ended the kabaddi competition in the Asian Beach Games with the women's team clinching a gold medal by defeating Sri Lanka, and then the men's team settling for silver for the second consecutive edition by being defeated by Islamic Republic of Iran. So this sixth Asian Beach Games, it was held in Sanya in China. So it was organized by Olympic Council of Asia. And Asian Beach Games is a multi-sport event focused on beach and coastal disciplines. So it was first held in Bali in Indonesia in the year 2008. And the beach games were last held in the year 2016 in Da Nang, Vietnam, and were initially scheduled to return in the year 2020. However, due to COVID-19 pandemic, it was delayed. And now the 2026 edition, it was held in Sanya in China, and India had sent a 31-member contingent. At the 2016 edition, India had won 24 medals, including 2 gold, 4 silver, and an 18 bronze. The women's kabaddi team clinched gold, while men's team they settled for silver. India's other gold medal came in Varna, where Shweta Moore triumphed in the women's 52 kg event. So this is the mascot of the sixth Asian Beach Games. Okay, so this mascot name is Yaya, and it is an elf deer. Yannick Sinner from Italy has delivered a composed performance to defeat Carlos Alcaraz from Spain in the final of the Monte Carlo Masters to return to the world number one ranking for the first time since November 2025. So currently, Jannik Sinner from Italy, he is the world number one. So Jannik Sinner, he joined Novak Djokovic as the only man who have claimed the first three ATP Masters 1000 titles of the season. Italy dismisses replacing Iran at the World Cup after suggestion by a Trump official. A Trump administration official suggested that Italy to replace Iran at the World Cup 2026. Okay, but Italy has declined this and said that they are not interested in replacing Iran at the upcoming World Cup. So Iran has not withdrawn from the World Cup and the team is preparing to play in US despite the war in the Middle East. So FIFA has insisted its group stage games near Los Angeles and in Seattle will go ahead as planned in June. So Italy is one of the most successful national teams in history of the World Cup, having won four titles. That is in the year 1934, 1938, 1982, and 2006. So Brazil had the highest number of titles, that is five, followed by Germany and Italy with four titles each. And Argentina, three titles, France, two titles, Uruguay, two titles, England, one title, and Spain, one title. The 1930 FIFA World Cup was the first FIFA World Cup, and then the world champion for men's national football team took place on Uruguay from 13 to 30 July 1930, and then the host country was the champion, and the host country defeated Argentina. Formula One returns to Turkey Istanbul Park from 2027 as part of new five-year agreement. The International Football Association Board had unanimously approved red card for players covering their mouth to conceal discriminatory behavior. So at a special meeting which was held in Vancouver, Canada, the International Football Association Board unanimously approved two FIFA proposed law amendments to address discriminatory and inappropriate behavior, that is, players covering their mouth in situations of confrontation with opponents, and then players leaving the field of play in protest at a referee's decision. So these amendments will be communicated to the 48 participating teams at the FIFA World Cup 2026. World Anti-Doping Agency President Witold Banka said nobody is blind to India's serious doping problem but acknowledged that there have been sincere efforts to address it, which includes active participation in the Interpol-backed Operation Upstream targeting global drug suppliers. So Interpol, it became a WADA partner in 2019 and has been driving the intelligence gathering that has led to this crackdown. So India has been topping the WADA's list of dope offenders for three consecutive years, with the highest positivity rate among major nations. So the country is scheduled to host the Commonwealth Games in the year 2030 and it is aspiring to become an Olympic host in the year 2036. So this doping, it is an act of consuming banned artificial and often illegal substances to gain an advantage over others in sporting competitions. So doping may include other methods like increasing oxygen in the bloodstream through blood transfusions. So regarding World Anti-Doping Agency, it was established in the year 1999 as an independent international agency funded equally by governments and the sports community. Headquarters is in Canada, Montreal, Canada, and then the core activities include conducting scientific research on anti-doping, providing education and capacity building initiatives, monitoring the implementation of the World Anti-Doping Code, which standardizes anti-doping policies globally. And in February 1999, the International Olympic Committee convened the first World Conference on Doping in Sport in Lausanne, Switzerland. So these are some of the different kinds of doping used by athletes. So you can go through this. Narcotic Control Bureau has announced the launch of coordinated operation WIPE aimed at preventing the misuse of online platforms for illegal sale and distribution of pharmaceutical drugs that are regulated under the law. Voting and contesting elections are statutory rights and not fundamental rights. Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court has reiterated that the right to vote and the right to contest an election are not fundamental rights but statutory rights created by law and can therefore be regulated or restricted through legal provisions. So the difference between fundamental rights and statutory rights. So fundamental rights, they are guaranteed by the Constitution of India under Part 3 and it cannot be easily restricted. It is directly enforceable in Supreme Court or High Court. Whereas statutory rights, they are created by legislation and it can be modified or restricted by the law. They exist only within the legal framework. So the right to vote is in which article of the Indian Constitution? Women voters set record turnout in Assam, Kerala, Puducherry elections. So in this recent election in Assam, Kerala, and Puducherry, women came out to vote in huge numbers. So in Kerala, 81.19% women voted. That beat Kerala's own old record of 80.58% from way back in the year 1987 assembly polls. And then for the state of Assam, 86.50% of women voted. That beats Assam's previous best of 84.67% in the year 2016. And for Puducherry, 91.40% women voted, which was better than their 86.97% in the year 2011. So Assam broke Kerala's all-time high record overall voting percentage. So Assam didn't just beat its own record, but its total turnout was 85.91%. Okay, that narrowly beats Kerala all-time total record of 85.77% in the year 1960. So currently, Assam is number one for overall voter turnout. So what was the sex ratio of India as per Census 2011? The 106 Constitutional Amendment Act 2023. So this is about the Women Reservation Bill and it is also known as Nari Shakti Vandan Adhinayam. So this bill, it isn't new. So this bill was introduced multiple times in the Parliament as well as the State Assembly in the year 1996, 1998, 1999 and 2008. But each time it was introduced, it was failed because the Lok Sabha, it got dissolved before it could become a law, but it was finally passed in both houses in the year 2023. So, according to this, it reserves one third of all seats for women in Lok Sabha, State Legislative Assembly, Delhi Legislative Assembly. But this bill is not implemented yet because, in order for this bill to be implemented, two things must happen. That is, the next census must be completed, and then the delimitation must happen. That is, redrawing of constituency boundaries based on the new census. So once the bill has been implemented, the reservation will last for 15 years, and after that, the parliament can extend it. So the reserved seats will also rotate to different constituencies after each election, so the same area isn't always reserved. So which constitutional amendment provided reservation to women in panchayat? One Nation, One Election, the Constitution 129th Amendment Bill 2024. So this, in a nutshell, is right now we vote separately, right? For Lok Sabha once in 5 years, and each of India's states has its own separate election once in 5 years. So across India, there's some big election almost every year. So according to this bill, what this bill exactly wants is to hold all the election together at once. That means you can go to the booth at once and vote both for your MP and your MLA on the same day. After that, the next round for everyone happens together again in 5 years. So what is the purpose of this when we vote at the same time? So when we do that, we save costs. That means election setup costs are huge. Every election, they need EVM, security forces, polling booths, staff, transport, and helicopters, etc. So today, we pay for that setup 5 to 6 times in 5 years because states vote at different times and each time the whole machinery gets deployed again. So if we do that once in 5 years, we set up everything just once, use it for both Lok Sabha and all states, and then pack up the EVMs, the security movement, and staff training happen once, not repeatedly. And also, right now, the model code of conduct kicks in before every election. That means new project or schemes they get paused. If elections happen only in 5 years, governance runs smoothly the rest of the time. And also the teachers, police, and government officers, they do election duty. So doing it once means they are not pulled away from their main jobs every year. So what this bill aims is to cut costs, reduce constant election mode, and then sync all terms to one 5 year cycle. So this is all about the one election, or one nation, one election. The Foreign Contribution Regulation Act was introduced in the year 1976 during the emergency, and it was established to prevent foreign influence on India's internal affairs through financial contribution. It aimed at regulating and overseeing the flow of foreign funds into the country. So this act has been amended three times in the year 2016, 2018, 2020 to strengthen oversight. So foreign contribution means the donation or transfer of any currency, security, or article by a foreign source. So foreign sources include governments of foreign countries or their agencies, foreign companies, trusts or societies, and citizens of any foreign countries. The Foreign Contribution Regulation Amendment Bill 2026, it was introduced in Lok Sabha on March 25th, 2026. So this bill it amends so this bill it seeks to amend the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act 2010. So these are the key changes proposed in the 2026 bill, that is vesting of assets in the authority, introduction of administrator, time period for prior permission, definition of key functionaries, duty to inform of cessation defunct status, reduce imprisonment. So according to the key changes proposed in the bill, this bill it creates a designated authority appointed by the central government that takes over foreign funds and assets, even buildings or equipment built partly with foreign money if registration lapses. So this bill it sets clear timelines for using funds received under prior permission. It makes the registration automatically cease if not renewed on time with no more gray areas. It also reduces jail time for violations from 5 years to 1 year, but requires central approval before any investigation can start. So this bill it gives the authority power to manage, sell, or transfer those assets to government bodies if the NGO doesn't get its license back in time. So imagine a church-run school in Kerala, which was built with foreign donations for education and charity. If its FCRA registration expires without timely renewal, maybe due to paperwork delay or rejection, the designated authority, he or she can step in and take control of the school building or related assets, manage it, and potentially hand it over to government body or sell it. So critics, especially from minority communities, they worry that this bill, okay, the amendment bill, it gives too much power to the center and could hit schools, hospitals, and charities very hard. So the government says that it is about better oversight and stopping misuse like for conversions or anti-national stuff, but many NGOs and opposition voices call it overreach. It makes organizations nervous about long-term projects because one slip with paperwork could mean losing what they have built. So it is like a bank suddenly controlling your house if your loan paperwork lapses. This bill it makes sense on paper for accountability, but the fear is that it could freeze genuine social work, especially for smaller or minority-run groups that rely on foreign help. So this is FCRA Amendment Bill 2026 in a nutshell. A uniform civil code refers to a single law applicable to all citizens of a country in personal matters such as marriage, divorce, custody, adoption, and inheritance. In India, the purpose of a uniform civil code is to replace the personal laws based on religions and their scriptures and customs with a common set of civil laws governing every citizen that are in line with criminal laws. Article 44 enshrined in Part 4 of the Indian Constitution. It recognizes the need for a UCC, but it is not mandatory, okay, and it is left to the government's discretion. The demand for a uniform civil code in India is contentious. Supporters argue it promotes equality and secularism, while opponents believe it undermines the minority rights and religious practices. So the Uttarakhand government officially implemented the Uniform Civil Code on January 27, 2025, making it the first Indian state to adopt the UCC post-independence, and Gujarat is the second state, and Goa was the only region in India to have a uniform civil code prior to India's independence. Okay, so remember this. Personal laws including matters like marriage, divorce, inheritance, and adoption comes under which list of the seventh schedule? So the seventh schedule consists of three lists, right? That is union, state, and concurrent list. So this personal laws comes under which schedule? Which list of the seventh schedule? WhatsApp had banned 9,400 accounts over digital arrest scams since January 2026. So this status report was submitted by Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, that is I4C. I4C operates under the Ministry of Home Affairs. So what are digital arrest scams? So digital arrest scams are serious cyber threat. In digital arrest scams, fraudsters impersonate law enforcement agencies, including police or central investigative bodies, and they intimidate victims with threats of arrest. So victims are often contacted through calls or messaging platforms and coerced into transferring money under the pretext of avoiding legal action. The use of fake identities, forged documents, and official looking communication has made these scams increasingly convincing. So when was WhatsApp incorporated? Parrots are wild animals, rules High Court orders Maharashtra government to compensate farmer for crop damage. So the Bombay High Court had ordered the Maharashtra government to compensate a farmer for pomegranate trees damaged by parrots. The court ruled that parrots are wild animals under the Wildlife Act, making the state liable for losses caused by its property. So the farmer will receive rupees 200 per tree for 200 damaged trees, rejecting the government's limited compensation policy. China blocks Meta from acquiring AI startup Manus. China had blocked Meta's acquisition of the artificial intelligence startup Manus, which has Chinese roots but is Singapore based. South Korean President Lee Jae-myung landed in Delhi along with his wife Kim Hae-kyu. The President Draupadi Murmu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi welcomed Lee at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. So South Korea is a country in the East Asia and the capital is Seoul or Seoul. Official language is Korean. Official script Hangul and currency is Korean Republic won. India New Zealand FTA 2026. India and New Zealand had signed a landmark free trade agreement on 27th of April 2026 at Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi. This agreement was formalized by Union Minister Piyush Goyal and then New Zealand Trade Minister Scott McClay in the presence of New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon. So this deal it targets doubling the bilateral trade from $2.4 billion to $5 billion within 5 years, backed by a $20 billion New Zealand investment commitment to India. Uniquely, India describes it as the country's first women-led FTA, with the chief negotiator, deputy chief negotiator, sectoral leads, and India's ambassador to New Zealand all being women. So if the question asks which deal describes the country's first women-led FTA, then this will be the answer, okay? India-New Zealand FTA. So what does India get from this deal? One of the biggest gain for India is complete duty-free access for all of its 8,284 export products in the New Zealand market from day one. Earlier, Indian exports faced an average tariff of 2.2%, with some labor-heavy sectors like textiles and leather seeing duties of up to 10%, but all this will drop to zero. The pharmaceutical sector will also gain easier access, with New Zealand agreeing to accept inspection reports from global regulators. So this will reduce repeated checks and cut compliance costs. And what does New Zealand get? India has opened 70.03% of its tariff lines to New Zealand, covering 95% of its current imports. So New Zealand exporters will benefit in areas such as wool, wine, wood, coal, and fruits like avocados and blueberries. The deal will also include cooperation in agriculture, including a special agri-technology plan to support Indian farmers with inputs in kiwi, apple, and honey production. What India has protected, at the same time, India has kept nearly 30% of its tariff lines outside the deal to protect sensitive sectors. So the sensitive sectors include dairy products, edible oils, sugar, vegetables like onions and pulses, and sectors such as gems and jewelry and metals. So regarding mobility and job opportunities, New Zealand will offer 1,667 temporary work visas each year for an initial 3-year period with a cap of 5,000 people at any given time. New Zealand has committed to invest $20 billion in India over the next 15 years with focus on infrastructure, renewable energy, agriculture, and technology. The agreement also opens up around 139 service sectors, including finance, tourism, and digital services. It includes supports for MSMEs, helping them access trade information and connect with global value chains. So this picture has been provided. Okay, so you can go through this. So this India-New Zealand Free Trade Agreement, it is India's ninth FTA in the recent years. So the same thing that I've explained earlier, it is all written here. So you can go through this. So this deal between India and New Zealand, okay, it is the second time that India has received foreign direct investment commitment of USD 20 billion in over 15 years. A similar commitment of USD that is $100 billion was made by four European nations bloc, that is Switzerland, Iceland, Norway, and Liechtenstein, in its pact with India. So you can go through this image here. Japan's Haruki Murakami to publish first new novel in 3 years with The Tale of Kauho in July. So Haruki Murakami has been long listed multiple times for the Nobel Prize in Literature, but he hasn't won it yet. His notable works include Norwegian Wood, Kafka on the Shore, The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle, and 1Q84. So he is Haruki Murakami. From screens back to books, what Sweden's U-turn means for India's education system. So in a report titled In 2009, Sweden replaced textbooks with screens. 15 years later, it's spending $120 million to bring them back. It was published in March 24, 2026 issue of Indian Defense Review. Emily Hart writes, Sweden embraced screens in classroom and pushed books aside. Years later, the country is making a costly reversal that says everything about what went wrong. So we can also get some ideas from this. So what are the key problems observed with screen-based learning? That is, reduced reading comprehension, shorter attention span, weaker writing habits, increased distraction, that is, devices. They provide easy access to games, social media, and browsing during class. Teachers are forced to manage device distraction instead of focusing on teaching. Fragmented attention due to the same interface delivering both learning and material and distractions. The core insights from the shift: green textbooks better support sustained focus and deep learning. The reversal prioritizes practical classroom results over theoretical benefits of technology. And digital tools have value but are not ideal as the primary medium for foundational learning. So, when it comes to foundational learning, it is always apt to choose the medium of books, okay, not digital tools. Relevance to India, especially Northeast. So similar issues have been observed even in less advanced classrooms. That is poor reading comprehension, weak attention and writing skills. Mobile phones compound the distraction problem. Heavy push towards computerization or digital learning by government risk repeating Sweden mistakes. So we can also learn from the mistake of Sweden. Northeast regions still struggling with basic education are particularly vulnerable. Foundational importance of traditional skills. Reading, comprehension, writing, concentration, and analysis are essential building blocks of education. Technology, they often hinder rather than help these basics. Education must balance skill development and entrepreneurship with deep abilities to navigate life and society. The broader concerns raised. Education should empower children for full potential, not just vocational skills, but also intellectual growth, diversity of thought, and awareness of social or physical environment. The risk of using education plus technology for mind or thought control, narrowing space for diverse ideas, cancel culture and stigmatization of differing aspirations are harming intellectual blossoming. Need for a pause. Reassess the policies based on outcomes, not ideology or novelty. Equal opportunity needed across streams, that is humanities, social sciences, teaching, librarianship, etc., not just STEM or entrepreneurship. So this concludes some of the national and international news which was covered in the local dailies. So these are some of the word meanings. So you can go through this. So these word meanings will help you in your exams and also as well as improve your vocabulary. So if you have gone through some previous year papers, okay, you will see all these words. So these words are all taken out from previous year exams or different exams. So you can go through this list. And these are the important days and your themes for the month of April. So you can go through this also. So you can go through this. So in this section, it consists of the Morong quizzes compilation and also some additional questions. So you can also pause the video after you see the question and then try it yourself. What are the estimated gross receipts of Nagaland for the year 2026 to 27 as per the state budget? So these are the options. So the correct answer is option number B, that is 22,507.10 crore. As per the Nagaland State Budget 2026 to 27, What is the total state's own tax and non-tax revenue? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number A, that is 2,714.44 crore. Which of the following district is not included in the Pink Scooty scheme announced in the state budget 2026 to 27 on a pilot basis? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number B, that is Dimapur. When is Earth are usually observed? That is the local time on the last Saturday of March across the globe. So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number C, that is 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. With 9 medals, including 3 gold, what was Nagaland's rank in the recent Ashmita Khelo India Pencak Silat League held in Shillong? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number B, that is first runners up. As per the official records, how many hectares of rubber plantations have been promoted by the Nagaland Resource Department till 2025 to 26? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number C, that is 19,469.46 hectares. Aulang festival is associated with which of the following tribes? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number C, that is Konyak. What was the domestic GST collection in Nagaland during financial year 2025 to 26? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number D, that is 845 crore. International Mind Awareness Day is observed every year on which date? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number B, that is 4th of April. Who among the following won 3 medals at the first Khelo India Tribal Games 2026 held in Chhattisgarh? So the correct answer is option number B, that is Rubino Teno. What is the title of the first patent announced by St. Joseph's College, Chakama? So the correct answer is option number B, that is superabsorbent hydrogel. World Homeopathy Day is annually observed on which date? That is April 10. What is Artemis 2? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is crewed lunar flyby mission. Which state has launched India's first quantum test facilities? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number A, that is Andhra Pradesh. Which state clinched the fourth Northeast Cricket Development Council Interstate Friendship Cup Men's Under 19 2026? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number A, that is Manipur. Where has 24 into 7 control room for reporting and monitoring of vector-borne diseases recently established in Nagaland? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number A, that is Dimapur. India, a new census is traditionally conducted after every how many years? The correct answer is option number A, that is 10 years. World Heritage Day, also known as International Day for Monuments and Sites, it is celebrated annually on which date? So the correct answer is option number D, that is 18th of April. The Thalo tribe is mainly found in which group of Indian states? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number A, that is Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and Bihar. Where was the annual general meeting of the Athletics Federation of India held from April 14 to 15, 2026? So the correct answer is option number C, that is Kohima. Who is Nagaland State Commissioner for Persons with Disabilities? So the correct answer is option number D, that is Tumpang L. Jamir. What was the overall HSLC pass percentage in Nagaland for 2026? So the correct answer is option number C, that is 72.07. According to the latest National Sample Survey, 88 round, what percentage of hospitalization cases in Nagaland were treated in public hospitals? So the correct answer is option number C, that is 74.5%. Bal Aadhaar is an Aadhaar card issued for children up to what age? So the correct answer is option number B, that is 5 years. Who set an official marathon world record of 1 hour 59 minutes and 30 seconds at the TCS London Marathon, becoming the first man to break two records? 2 hours to break 2 hours. So these are the options. So the correct answer is option number D, that is Sebastian Salwe. The Satoi Connect initiative emerged from collaboration between. So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number C, that is forest officials and village elders. What was the title of the blueprint unveiled by the Department of Agriculture, Government of Nagaland in 2012? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number C, that is Vision Document 2025, Food for All. Match the column. So vitamin A, it prevents night blindness. So 1F. So 1F. So B and C gets automatically deleted. So vitamin D, it supports strong bones. Okay, so that means E. So that means option number A is correct. Consider the following statements regarding National Mission on Manuscript. It includes a national electronic database to document each and every manuscript. Mission aims to train the next generation of scholars in various aspects of manuscript studies. It is a scheme administered by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So, National Mission on Manuscript. Okay, it is a scheme administered by Ministry of Tourism and Culture. So this statement is wrong. That means 3 gets wrong. Then the correct answer is option number A. Which statutory body led by Hiralal Samaria plays a key role in enforcing the Right to Information Act 2005 in India? So these are the options. So the correct answer is option number B, that is Central Information Commission. The concept of reasonable classification as a limitation to the right to equality was established in which case? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number B, that is State of West Bengal versus Anwar Ali Sarkar. Consider the following statement. Indian federalism is biased towards the center. This is correct. The constitution uses the word federal explicitly. So this is not correct. So the correct answer is option number A, that is only one. Under which article allows Parliament to legislate on a subject in the state list during a national emergency? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number A, that is Article 250. Consider the following statements regarding hate speech in India. Hate speech poses a serious threat to public order and social harmony, often escalating into violence and creating insecurity among minority communities. So this statement is correct. Under the Constitution of India, all forms of hate speech are prohibited as a reasonable restriction under Article 19(1)(a), since the right to freedom of speech and expression is not subject to any limitations. So this statement is wrong. Okay, so the correct answer is option number C, that is statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. Consider the following functions of the State Election Commission and select the correct answer by using the codes given below. So it prepares the electoral polls for panchayat and municipalities elections in the state. So this statement is correct. Conducts elections for panchayat and municipalities of the state. This is correct. Conducts election to various body except panchayats and municipalities. So this statement, it contradicts statement number B. So this is incorrect. So C is incorrect. This is incorrect. So that means only option number A, that is A and B are correct. Which of the following statement is or are correct about Law Commission? The first Law Commission of Independent India was established in the year 1955 under chairmanship of M.C. Setalvad. The Law Commission of India is a non-statutory and non-constitutional body. So both the statements are correct. So that means option number C. Consider the following statements. Bellary is the primary district carved out from Peck district. So this is correct. Peck district was established on 19 December 1973. This is correct. The name Peck, it is derived from the word Pekra Kede, meaning watchtower. This is correct. So all of these statements are correct. That means option number D. Which of the following is the capital of Cambodia? So the correct answer is option number C, that is Phnom Penh. Under Sustainable Development Goal 3, that is good health and well-being, by 2030, the premature mortality from non-communicable diseases is said to be reduced by which of the following? So the answer is option number C, that is 1/3. What percentage of MPs elected to the 18th Lok Sabha are women? So the current Lok Sabha is the 18th Lok Sabha, and this value is approximate. Okay, so that is approximate 14%. Which state is not part of the Seven Sisters of the Northeast India? So the correct answer is option number B, that is Sikkim is not the part of Seven Sisters. Chatting on WhatsApp is an example of which of the following? So that is synchronous communication. Kharif crops are sown at the beginning of the rainy season and are also known as monsoon crops. Which of the following is an example of Kharif crops? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number A, that is rice, maize, sorghum, and bajra. Match list 1 with list 2. So these are the name of Chinese leader and then the association. Mao Zedong, he is associated with the chairman of the Communist Party Executive and founder of Red Army. So that is A3. A3, that means option number C. Which of the following two statements are correct regarding Chinese policy of theory of palm and five fingers? So these are the given options. So we know that Nagaland is not a part of it. That means option D gets eliminated. And then it includes Mizoram and Manipur, no. That means option C gets eliminated. That means the correct answer is option number C. Why excessive heating and repeated use of cooking oil is most undesirable? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number C, B, that is carcinogenic substances like benzoprine are produced. Section 173 BNSS codifies the concept of zero FIR because FIR must be recorded irrespective of where the offense was committed. So the correct answer is option number C. The Public Service Commission, which recommended raising the maximum age for civil service examination, was chaired by whom? So these are the given options. And then the correct answer is option number C, that is Charles Aitchison. Which of these leaders called British rule economics exploitation the knife of sugar? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number A, that is Lullaby Naloji. The tail feather of hornbill with a black subterminal band used by almost all the Naga tribes on their headgear belongs to which of the following? So the correct answer is option number B, that is great hornbill. Buceros bicornis, option number B. The paper used for printing Indian currency notes on is that base. So the correct answer is option number B, that is cotton. According to standard medical guidelines, what is the recommended rate for manual cardiopulmonary resuscitation, that is CPR, okay? So remember the full form of CPR also, chest compressions to a person. So the correct answer is option number A, that is 100 to 120 pressures per minute. The lake situated near Fazal Ali College, Jujuyimpang village or in Mukupchong is. Correct answer is option number A, that is Amukmulu. The first attempt to classify Naga language was made by which of the following? So the correct answer is option number B, that is Nathan Brown. As per the Nagaland Vision Document 2030, the elderly population in Nagaland is projected to reach dash by 2030. So the correct answer is option number C, that is 2.23 lakhs. Most of the forests found in the state of Nagaland fall under which of the following? So the correct answer is option number C, that is wet tropical forests. Which of the following district is often seen in the news for human-elephant conflict? So the correct answer is option number B, that is Wokha. Intanki National Park is situated on the bank of which river? So the correct answer is option number C, that is Damsari. Who is regarded as the father of BDP in Nagaland? So the correct answer is option number B, that is A.M. Gokhale. For the first time in the history of Nagaland Legislative Assembly, a no confidence motion was admitted against the ministry headed by which of the following? So the correct answer is option number A, that is P. Shilu Aung. When was Nagaland State Act passed? So the correct answer is option number A, that is 21st of August 1962. Who is popularly referred to as the father of democratic tradition of Nagaland? So the correct answer is option number B, that is T.N. Angami. Sand artist Sudarshan Patnaik was appointed as the brand ambassador for Census 2027 by the Government of India, in which year he was honored with the Padma Shri for his contribution to arts. So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number B, that is 2014. The concept of public interest litigation originated in which of the following countries? So the correct answer is option number B, that is USA. What is the meaning of the legal term amicus curiae? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number B, that is friend of the court. With reference to the Register of Indigenous Inhabitants of Nagaland, consider the following statements. It will be prepared based on an extensive survey using village-wise and ward-wise lists. It will be prepared without supervision from district administration. It will rely on official records for identification. So which of the following statements given below are correct? So it will be prepared without supervision from district administration. So this statement is a negative statement. So this statement is wrong. That means 1 and 3. Option number B. Who set up the Family Planning Association of India, a voluntary organization? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number B. Dr. Avabhai Wadia and Dhanvanti Rama Rao. Consider the following statements regarding the commission and the year. So Atchison Commission. So the correct one is 1886. That is 1C, 1C. So this gets eliminated. And then for this and this, both B are there. We have to say for number 3. Lee Commission. Lee Commission is 1924. That means A. So option number C is correct. The national pension system was launched in India in which of the following years? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number C, that is 2004. Which organization was inaugurated in March 2008? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number C, that is Forum for Naga Reconciliation. Which of the following consumer rights have been defined in Consumer Protection Act 2019? Right to safety, right to privacy, right to reject. Select the correct answer using the code below. So these are the given options. So right to privacy, no, and right to reject, no. So the correct one is right to safety. That means option number A, one only. What was the major aim of India's 1991 economic reforms? So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number B, that is to stabilize India's economy. Chronologically arrange the following movements led by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So this A, B, C, D are given. So we have to arrange. So chapter like agitation at Mahad, burning the text of Manusmriti, Satyagraha at Prabhupada Temple, and Satyagraha at Kalaram Temple. So this is in order. So A, B, C, D. Option number A. Arrange the following basic freedoms given in Article 19 of the Indian Constitution in sequential order. So under Article 19, there are six fundamental basic freedoms. So we have to arrange in order to settle down in any part of the country, to assemble peacefully and without arms, to move freely throughout the territory of India, to practice any profession, or to carry any occupation, trade, or businesses. So this two comes first, that is to assemble peacefully and without arms. So two comes first. Everything is two. So after two comes to move freely throughout the territory of India, that is three. So two, three, two, three, that means option number D is correct. The first hour of business of the Lok Sabha is known as dash. So these are the given options. So the correct answer is option number D, that is question R. Consider the following statements about the Limitation Commission. Which of the following is or are correct? The 84th Amendment to the Constitution in 2001 had put a freeze on the delimitation of Lok Sabha. The Delimitation Commission appointed by the center has to have 5 members. So has to have 5 members. This statement is wrong. Okay. So only option number one, that is A only. Himachal Pradesh attained the status of a full-fledged state on which of the following? So the correct answer is option number C, that is 25th of January 1971. Which of the following components of central government taxes on petroleum products is or are not shareable with the states? Basic excise duty, additional excise duty, special additional excise duty. Which of the statements are correct? So only two and three are correct. That means option number B. Which classification of migrants, as defined by the International Organization of Migration in the context of environmental change, is inaccurate? Migrant, a person who has moved across an international border or within a state away from his or her habitual place of residence. So this statement is correct. We have to find it inaccurate. Environmental internally displaced person, a person who is forced to leave home due to environmental conditions but remains within the state of which he or she is a national. Environmental refugee, a person who moves voluntarily. How comes he's a refugee and how comes he will move voluntarily, right? So this statement is wrong. So the answer will be this option number C. In October 2025, the Government of India constituted the 8th Pay Commission to review and recommend revisions to the salary structure of central government employees. Who among the following was appointed as the chairperson of the 8th Central Pay Commission? So the correct answer is option number A, that is Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai. So this concludes this video. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.